I am Roger Sherman of Connecticut, a lawyer by trade and a founder by providence. I never went to school, but I studied law by candlelight and learned more from practice than from lectures. Without the benefit of a formal legal education, I was admitted to the bar in 1754. My friend Thomas Jefferson rightly gets the credit for writing our Declaration of Independence, but I helped outline and edit that document along with Ben Franklin, John Adams, and Robert Livingston, the Committee of Five. At the 1787 Constitutional Convention, it was the Connecticut Compromise, my proposal, that kept the states from falling apart. Equal votes for the states in the Senate, while population determines votes in the House of Representatives. But my proudest achievement was raising my many children. I had 15 in total. I stood fast when others broke. I did my part. Now you must do yours.
Where he sat in full glee, a few songs of harmony sent a petition that he had inspired. And patron would be when this answer arrived from the jolly old Grecian. Voice, fiddle, and flute no longer be mute. I'll lend you my aid and inspire you to boot. And besides, I'll instruct you like me to entwine the myrtle of Venus with Bacchus's vine.
This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world.
Cameras on, we're going live tonight. American pride and patriot fight. The white rabbit has taken flight. Knock, knock, sleepy Neo, this is for real. We're swallowing red pills left and right. Come and overdose with us Tuesday night. They say we're crazy, say we've gone too far, but we're just truth seekers under the dome. Don't be mad at us, Google Chrome. They laugh, they mock, they think we're insane. Please just use your effing brain. This is the UPC where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it, you can leave. If you wanna complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're already detached from deep state machines. They say we're crazy, they say I've gone too far, ready to drown us with feathers and tar. If you're still in our country, we haven't gone far enough. They love to hate us, thinking we've gone insane, but we could care less, they don't know our pain. This is the UPC where He's coming to save us, Jesus Christ. Coming to light the flame. But if I say Christ is king, oops, I'm anti-Semitic too. This is the UPC where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it? You can leave. If you wanna complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're already detached from deep state machines.
What's going on, y'all?
Good evening, everybody.
Hello,
How is it going?
It's good.
All right. Everybody, enter the chat right now. Say hello. Show us that you're here. If anybody wants to join, hit that link right now. Let's start the night early because we're already a few minutes late again. But that was technical issues. Relax, everybody.
Yeah, she wasn't sleeping
I had
this
to
time.
restart my modem. Yo, no. So I told Jimmy, nah, I'm not gonna sleep or nothing. I came home 7:30. I started dozing off. I said, oh hell no. So I had to put an alarm clock for 8:30. I still fell asleep, and I got up, and I'm like, why am I so sleepy every Tuesday night? Right when I have to start the show, like, what is going on? That is
Yeah, it was
so
a very-
weird. I
it was-
never used to sleep.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was a busy night on my end too. It was a busy day at work, and then this evening was rather busy, so I apologize for being late as well. So, but hey, did y'all hear the little song after the founding father thing? What did y'all think about that?
I don't know
Oh
what
yeah,
that
Bo,
was.
have you heard that before?
No,
You haven't heard
I
that
didn't even
before?
know what.
All right, chat.
Does anybody
Let
know
us
what
know,
that was?
chat. Yeah, give
So
everybody
I-
like 2 minutes to type. Let me know if
So
you
I'll
guys
tell you
know
how
what
I
that
found
song
that.
is.
Yeah, I'll tell you how
Okay,
I
go
found
ahead.
that. I was scrolling through TikTok one evening, and I saw a reel that said hidden facts most Americans don't know. And there's like this list of things, and that particular song was one of the things that I didn't know about it. So I was like, let's play that and see if anybody knows what that is. And then there's some more that I can put on the show as well, different facts we didn't know about. It's pretty cool. So let's see. Sounds familiar. Well, the reason it sounds
Marciano
familiar.
said, sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was the star. It's actually the music that we know of as the Star Spangled Banner, the national anthem. However,
The melody, yeah.
the melody of it. However, this is the history of that said melody. What you heard was called the Anacreonic Song, also known by its encrypt, the Anachronon in Heaven. It was the official song of the Anachronic Society, an 18th century gentleman's club of amateur musicians in London. It was composed by John Stafford Smith. The tune was later used by several writers as a setting for their patriotic lyrics. These included 2 songs by Francis Scott Key, most famously his poem Defiance of Fort McHenry, and the combination of Key's poem and Smith's composition became known as the Star Spangled Banner, which was adopted as the official national anthem of the United States in 1931. So that was the history of that little song you guys heard. It was played at the British pubs. That melody. Anyway, a little history.
Yeah, so I mean, that's not a big deal for me. That's where our history comes from. You know what I mean? Like those are our roots. I don't have a big issue with that, but that's just a cool little fun fact.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was a cool little fun fact, I thought.
And welcome to the stage, Leonard. How are you doing tonight?
I am good. How are you all tonight?
Good.
Good, good. Did you
Doing good.
did you enjoy your Mother's Day, Ruby?
Yeah, I guess I could say that. I mean, I worked that day, so it was kind of like we don't really do like things special stuff for holidays like that, so it was all right.
Mm-hmm.
Not that big of a
Mm-hmm.
deal, but I know some people take that seriously, but I don't. So it was all right.
Yeah.
Bo, did you last week? You were pretty much on fire with what you were talking about last week. Did you have more that you wanted to present before you got taken away last week?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember exactly everything that I did tell you guys and stuff. I know I had a couple that I'd sent, but I don't remember.
You had great topics. It was about COVID, and then you sent me like a list or something. The Fauci
then-
stuff
Yeah.
you mentioned.
Yeah, it was really good.
I need to find the email that I sent to Ruby. Is it okay? Is it the COVID-19 doctor arrested linked to Fauci?
Yep.
Jehovah Witness money laundering under investigation by Irish Bank.
Yeah.
Major YouTube influencer paid by Democrats, Candace Owens.
Yeah, we talked
England.
about that.
Okay, England is the head of deep state. Why was there no king protest for the King of England and then UFO scientists murdered?
Okay, so I don't think we got to the why there was no king protest during the visit of the king. We didn't get to that point. So
Okay.
you were almost through it all. Okay.
Yeah, I think I only 2 of them we missed, right? If I remember right.
Yeah. So speaking
No, but
of,
we did talk about the king stuff. We did
Yeah.
talk about that.
We did? Okay. The
Yeah.
UFO thing?
No.
we didn't go
No.
into that too much.
Mm-mm.
No.
So just no conspiracy stuff, but just to be serious about it. Several of our nuclear scientists and scientists that are involved in what we consider to be UFO projects, top secret projects, have gone completely missing.
Right.
And so we don't know who's doing this. We don't know if it's another government. We don't know if they're just hiding, but some of them are just disappearing, which honestly is kind of strange, especially when we're, right around the same time that we're doing this, we're going to war with Iran, right? So is this Iran taking them out? Is like getting back at us? Because we've had so many people, we don't know. There's nothing really coming out. But the part that makes it even more interesting about this is that if you guys are familiar with the administration, they're making a UFO government page now.
Really?
Yeah, so there's an official US government page because Trump is actually releasing the documentation about UFOs and what they are. Now,
Yeah. There was some released just here this past week. I think on Friday there was some released.
yeah, so there's going to be an official government page that you guys can go and look up this stuff at. And I forgot what it's called. It's something like ufogovernment.com or something like that. I don't know what it is. I don't remember, but I find it'll be pretty interesting when they do that because I am going to be wanting to see what is in there because a lot of the people that are in the government are saying they're not calling them extraterrestrials. They're using different definitions.
Mhm.
Like one of the definitions that they're using is interdimensional. And what that means is that these things are not coming from space. They're coming from a pre-existing dimension, which is interconnected to our dimension. So if you are familiar with like the Book of Enoch or the Bible talks about like these trees and gateways. You think about like where Adam and Eve were, which was
Mhm.
someone please help me. What was it called? Garden of Eden.
Garden of
Yeah.
Eden.
So when they talk about the Garden of Eden was
Eden.
yeah, thank you guys. Where there was an angel there and he had a spinning sword that kept them out.
Mhm.
Well, that was another dimension. So it was a pocket dimension within the actual earth itself. So the Garden of Eden is a pocket dimension. So these things might be in a different dimension. We know the Bible speaks of 3 dimensions. There's earth, there's they refer as heaven 1, heaven 2, and heaven 3.
Right.
And heaven 3 is where God is, and then 2, I don't really know what it is. They don't really say. And then heaven 1 is earth, space, and basically anything that has atoms.
Mm-hmm.
All right. See, so I can buy into all
Mhm.
that. How would you, in your opinion, Bo, how would you address someone would say, well, you know what, dude, that stuff's all quack. That's just crazy conspiracy that you're saying there, Bo. I don't believe any of it. What would you say to somebody like that?
Well, I mean, if you look at the footage and the things that we have, like for an example, there was one of the things they did release was a Tomahawk missile hitting one of these vessels, is what I'm going to
Mhm.
call it, because we don't know what it is, and you can see that it destroyed part of whatever that machine is, and then the machine refused itself, so it fused back together. There is absolutely no machine on the face of this planet that can get hit with a Tomahawk missile and not be destroyed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So when people say this stuff isn't real, the thing that I would say is, if that's true, well, why is the United States, British, France, Germany, China, all of them have like Project Blue Book? They have their own UFO specialized internal structures and government agencies that investigate it. So if it's not true, then why is everyone investigating it? Not to mention the Russians, they've announced that they have one of these things.
Yeah, and we've heard for years all this talk about, well, I don't know if anybody knows that the conspiracy is, or the alleged thinking is, that there were aliens or interdimensional beings that actually came and visited us, the government, in the 50s and 60s. Do you remember those stories?
I've heard them. So through my research, because I don't know if I mentioned this, guys, I can't remember, but I used to do paranormal research. I don't know
Hmm.
if I told you guys
Yeah,
this or not,
Yeah.
yeah.
but
Yeah, you did.
from that,
Yeah.
there is a story, and I'm not 100%. I don't remember what president it was, but there's stories. I think it's Nixon, if I remember correct. That President Nixon, if I'm correct, and if I'm not, feel free to correct me. But basically, supposedly we made some kind of contract with extraterrestrials. One of our government agencies did this, and they met with them, and then they came up with something we don't know, and that's where Project Blue Book and all these other things are coming out of, and that the United States did something and made some like arrangement with them that we don't know what it is. And the spaceships and stuff that crash or whatever, a lot of times people think that they're what we refer to as gifting. So they're letting us actually shoot the things down, knowing that it's going to crash for whatever reason, and then letting us take them. So
Hmm.
I honestly don't understand. I mean, because it's a really weird thing if you think about it. Because if they're going to give us the ship anyways, why don't they just give us the ship? Why do we have to shoot it down? Like, why is that part of the story? I don't
Yeah.
understand that. I don't know. No one that I've ever worked with has ever explained that to me. They don't really know what's the reasoning behind it. My personal opinion about that is kind of a spiritual thing. And if you're not into that, then it won't make sense. But I know that the gifting process is part of the occult, and if
Hmm.
these things are demonic and they're not aliens, that would explain that behavior.
Right. Right. Um, Chat composer. Yeah, it's funny that you said that, because I have that pulled up right here to make.
It's Eisenhower. That's
Yeah,
the right one.
I wanted to give the audience a little bit of history on that for those that may not know. It says legend holds that President Dwight D. Eisenhower held secret meetings with extraterrestrials in 1954 at remote air bases in New Mexico and California. These rumors suggest he met with Nordic aliens to discuss technology and possibly negotiated a treaty allowing for human abduction. Though the official story was a secret emergency, it was a secret emergency dental appointment, is what they said he went to go do. Sorry, I
Did
messed
you
up
know
that.
that Eisenhower? It's Eisenhower's niece actually came out and said that all this was true.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's
I've
done
never
many
heard that. No.
interviews about it. Yeah, I've seen her talk about it, and she said that what the whole dentist thing, going over that was all a hoax, and that they were actually speaking to aliens. And
Wow.
the
I'm,
rumor is that yes, they were doing it, and they're making arrangements for people to be abducted. So many people will get abducted, and then they get technology.
That's
wow.
crazy.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And hold on, because this is
Yeah.
the same Eisenhower who was raised Jehovah's Witness, right? We
Correct.
spoke about this before.
Correct.
Oh my
So,
gosh, I didn't even
why
think about that. Oh my
Yeah, he
God,
exactly?
was.
So
honestly,
why would he be
oh
talking
gosh.
to demons and selling us out to demons, right? Because if he was raised JW, I don't know, did they believe that aliens were demons since back in the day? I would say yes, because I don't know, but they change
Yeah.
So let,
new light all the time, so I don't know.
Well,
so
I
let
mean,
me throw. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bo.
I was just gonna say, with that being said, him raised a Jehovah's Witness, if he was actually an actual Jehovah's Witness and had any kind of like, I don't know, ranking or something, then that means he's a Rosicrucian. So he belonged to the Rosicrucian order.
Right.
So, and that's a secret society. So that might explain why this JW is the president and making deals with these entities.
Okay, I don't know about that secret society. Can you write that in the chat for me so that I could look it up later?
The
I would,
Rosicrucian.
but I unfortunately I can't. When I'm on the thing, I
Okay,
can't
okay,
type
I'll do
stuff
it.
to you guys.
What was it called again?
It's Rosicrucian.
Rosa Christian?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Spelled funny.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, it's not easy to spell. It's something I have to look up on my phone to even. Yeah.
So here's
That's okay. I'll
the
Google it. Okay, go ahead.
here's the other part of this whole thing too. The other side that you could look at. The ones that were allegedly wanting to make a deal with the president to be able to allow human abduction. Okay, so those would be the evil entities. There is said to be entities that are not evil, and that they would be working against. It's like, all right, so for lack of better
Yeah,
words,
those are the Norskins, the ones that look like Norskins, the white skin and tall.
would that be like the Palladians?
I believe so. The names of these things I don't remember very well, but some of the descriptions of them are like the ones that are supposed to be good. Um, from what I remember, they're very tall,
Yeah,
white hair, white skin,
yeah,
and they're part of the because you guys know Star Trek is like there's like alliances and stuff like
yeah.
that. The Federation is kind of like built off. So Star Trek, I don't know if you guys know this, but Star Trek, the original series with Captain Kirk and all that stuff,
Mhm.
and that series was meant to introduce people to the idea of extraterrestrials. That was originally there was a government actual project to help finance Star Trek. And so Star Trek wanted to see how people react to the idea of a federation of extraterrestrial entities.
Okay, yeah, because you have the ones that are so called the Galactic Federation, that they
Yeah.
would be the good folks, the good entities that have been in constant war with these evil entities that have been controlling Earth for so long. And one thing that I've heard, and maybe some in the chat have also heard this as well, that the whole nuclear weapon thing, these entities, especially the Galactic Federation, they have been stopping the nuclear activities. They've been allegedly have been taking out, nuclear capabilities from some of these other countries. So that's been said. I can't verify that. I'm just saying
That's actually that what you just said, Jimmy, actually took place between the U.S. and Russia because UFOs came over and shut down the nuclear systems.
yeah, that's
And
what I've
this
heard.
has been and the government has actually come out and talked about this. And Russia and the US were calling one another and saying, "Are you doing this?" Because obviously it could cause like, a nuclear fight to go off. And we weren't. And we actually started arming our nuclear weapons systems, and they completely shut down, 100% shut down.
Yeah,
And
I think the reasoning behind this, man, this is weird how this episode just flipped to this tonight. But anyway,
yeah,
we
it's
just
weird.
go with the flow. But it's interesting. Going back to what you said about interconnected dimensions, or what was that phrase? Interdimension that were connected.
Interdimensional beings. That's
Yeah,
what they
yeah.
call these.
But
The government does.
But do the dimensions like overlap one another somehow?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, based on what they say, like the idea behind it is like, are you guys familiar with like string theory and stuff like that? or like how
Vaguely.
like everything is interconnected at some
Right.
level, like subatomic level. So somehow they're able to. They don't really travel in space like with spaceships the way that we think, like with gas power or engines. They
Right.
fold space itself in order to move. So they're not really moving, but the universe itself is moving around them because they're defining gravity itself.
Okay.
So they're not really moving. Everything around them is moving. And so they can also fold space. So if they need to go somewhere, they're not just they're going there instantaneously. It's kind of like how they did those experiments with cells of a person. They take it across, another country, and then they interact with the cell, and it's interacting, and there's a connection between the body and that cell, even though they're on another state. So we
Gotcha.
know that there's some kind of physical connection with matter itself, and their scientists so far advanced than ours. They're able to use that and use that as a form of motion.
Okay. So, with that said, it seems to me like it would be in the best interest of this Galactic Federation to make sure that humans don't nuke everything because
Yeah,
it would affect their existence as well, correct?
and people that work with this stuff, what they have said is the reason is the aliens are not fighting one another like Star Trek, just so everyone understands. And the reason we know they're not is because their technology level, being able to do this, the amount of physics and energy they have or possess, they could just annihilate planets, right? No
Right.
problem at all. So they don't really fight the way that we think of warfare, like with tanks and shooting and trying to kill one another. There's like rules and policies to how they're allowed and what they can engage because the technology level is so advanced that if they wanted to kill one another, it means like basically they could wipe out entire solar systems with that technology. If you can just instantly transmit something, you can transmit something that's going to make this, like for an example, you could transmit a device instantly into the sun and cause it to go supernova, and you could wipe out an entire system, or you could just blow up an entire planet by just transporting a bomb. Like and that's why they're worried about us, or at least they say that, is because we're getting more technologically advanced. We're getting to the point where we're having some of their technology, but yet
Mhm.
we're so effing dangerous because we're not like them. We will use those weapons. And that's where this kind of thing comes in, where people say that those aliens are putting us kind of in check, and they work with our governments, and they say you can do these things and do these things, but once you cross a certain boundary, we have to interfere.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's an ER doctor who was part of Obama's administration, um, and I forget his name at the top of my head, but he actually runs like this project where they actually reach out to extraterrestrials and interact with them, and the government knows that they do this and has actually asked them how and what they're doing, and the way they do this is through like meditation and stuff, and
Mhm.
they've actually
Mm-hmm.
recorded extraterrestrials showing up at these events, and they have a certain term for it that I can't remember what they call it, which is really weird. And like some of these entities that show up, they're not like what we think of aliens are. Like some of them are like more ghostly looking.
Right. That's
So
yeah.
this is why a lot of people speculate that aliens are actually extraterrestrials, are maybe actually demons or angels or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you
This-
Mm-hmm.
guys heard this before.
I have. I have.
Yeah.
This gives a whole new
Yeah.
meaning to when we say that this is a spiritual war that we're fighting. Because
definitely.
Yeah, but that guy, they did a documentary. I think Lily shared it with us a very long time ago in
Uh-huh.
season 2. We had that episode, and she showed me the documentary. I think it was called Full Disclosure or something like that. I think that's the title of it.
I think that's
And
it.
the guy's name is Steven, I believe.
yeah,
Um,
Stephen Greer,
yeah, he
I
was
wanna say.
working with the government. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So I watched the documentary. I saw it all. And I told Lily and the UPC,
Roger
formerly
Lear.
known as, oh, is that him?
No,
His
the
name is
guy that
Roger?
she was,
Does that
it
sound
was,
familiar?
it was Stephen something.
No, yeah, the guy who actually did the documentary. He's like an older white guy.
And funky teeth.
And yeah. So
Okay,
yeah, they're
'cause-
doing that
sorry about
project.
that.
Well, if anybody's interested, go watch the documentary. See how you guys feel about it, because in my opinion, I definitely felt like it was fake. That he's. I don't want to hurt nobody's. I'm gonna just say it. I truly feel like he's a grifter, trying to make money off of this topic and subject that people are super interested in, because he started, like, after the whole documentary was out and everything, he actually started selling alien encounters.
Right.
And and
Stephen
people
Greer,
would
that was
go,
his name. Yeah.
yeah,
Stephen
exactly,
Greer.
that's him.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
that's him.
he's the one that
And
was on Obama's administration, right?
I believe so.
He
I'm
was,
assuming.
let me double check.
I think that's how long ago it was
I
when
think he was just
that
a
happened.
retired physician. Let me check real quick.
Yeah.
Stephen Greer.
Yeah, I have to look him up.
Greer.
Greer?
Let's see.
Yep.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, it's Stephen M. Greer. Yeah, he's the one.
Mhm.
He did work with Obama's administration. He was
Yeah,
Right.
he's
And when
already-
he came out, he was doing
Yeah.
the UFO stuff.
So, you know, Ruby, it's very possible that, it's very possible he could be a grifter, because how many times have we seen other causes spring up in society or something that interests the public, and then you have somebody go into that field, so to speak, and take money from people?
Yeah.
It's very possible.
Yeah, that's the only thing that bothered me, because it's one thing to expose something and have credible people join you in that disclosure, which is fine. I loved it. But then the moment he starts selling encounters and starts giving you,
making
like,
a profit.
yes, but he also gives them the know-how, like a spirit medium or something.
Right.
And that bothers me, because it's like, why are you trying to teach people how to engage with these things? Because in my opinion, they are demonic, right? So you're
Yeah.
making money off of teaching people how to speak to demons. And
Do you
then
think that he knows they're demons, or do you think that he thinks that he's doing the right thing? Do you think they're using
no,
him?
I just think he's trying to make money. I mean, who cares about
Yeah.
what he thinks? That's irrelevant, because he's making money off of it. It would be different if he's not making money off of it and he's like, this is real, come do this encounter with me. Then I would be a little bit like, okay, well, maybe this guy is just doesn't know that these are demons, and you're playing with something very dangerous, and then you're exposing that to other people. And if he did know that, then he's an even worse type of person, in my opinion, because you know this and yet you're leading people on to have conversations with demons. Like, that's satanic. So like to me, in my perspective, that should be illegal. Like, I will not allow that in my country. In my perfect world, that would not be allowed.
So there's another name of one of these type of guys. It's mentioned in the chat, and I looked it up real quick. The name is Bob Lazar.
Oh yeah, I know about Bob.
Yeah, he his occupation, owner of a United Nuclear Scientific Equipment and Supplies. Since 1989, has claimed to have been part of a classified U.S. government project concerned with the reverse engineering of extraterrestrial technology. He also purported to have read government briefing documents that described alien involvement in human affairs over the past 10,000 years. A self-proclaimed physicist, Lazar supposedly worked at a secret site near the United States Air Force facility, popularly known as Area 51. His story brought additional public attention to the facility and spawned conspiracy theories regarding government knowledge of extraterrestrial life.
So can I throw a little bit about this guy?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
So Bob Lazar, so he worked in Area 51, and he actually talked about on air element that didn't exist. In like 5 years later, that element was discovered.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like, people say that he is the most believable story.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons why I would believe him is the government came after him, like literally came after him and tried to erase his identity. And the only reason it didn't work is because when he worked at one of these nuclear facilities, he was in the paper, the local paper. and they went and erased his record of him working there and everything, and everyone who knew him would not say that he worked there, and the only reason it came out that he was telling the truth is because there were papers and he was on the damn paper with the team.
Oh wow.
And so they showed that they tried to scrub his history.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that
You see,
Barbara
that would
Lazar,
so you see, in that instance, I would believe a guy like Bob more than I would Steven, because with Steven, it's like everything that he's doing and saying is approved, like media approved, government approved. Like and they try to make it seem like it's not. But then I'm like, why are they allowing all these meetings and like everything that he's doing, and then and then monetizing the encounters? That was just that took it off for me. And then I found out that Demi Lovato went to one of those encounters and she was like promoting it on her socials and things like that. And that was before she kind of made her comeback to the music industry, because she went off the radar for a little bit and she was like LGB for a while or whatever. And then all of a sudden she does this type of stuff. She describes her encounter, and then all of a sudden she's skinny again and beautiful again, and then she gets married, and then she gets making music again, and I'm like, what the hell? What just happened? Like, what?
Mhm.
And that crossover for me is a huge red flag. I feel the same ick when celebrities tell you who to vote for. It's like that crossover from the
Yeah.
music or Hollywood to political stuff. And then now with the UFO stuff is giving me the same ick. I don't like it. It screams fake to me. And I don't even want to entertain the thought, because to me, I truly do believe it's demonic entities trying to make contact with us. So why should we make it easier for them to make contact with us, right? And then Bo did a very great job when you gave us info about the whole Nephilim stuff.
Mhm.
And isn't that like deja vu? Like, hello, they did the same thing thousands of years ago, and the Nephilims existed. So why in the world would we want to talk to them again? Like,
so the
make
whole
it make
Nephilim
sense.
thing, I knew about UFO stuff way before. The Nephilim stuff is all pretty new. I didn't even start researching that until like 2019. Okay.
Oh wow.
So
Wow.
that stuff's all pretty new to me, just so you guys know. So like the whole Bible stuff is like literally I ignored it and thought nothing of it, and then I found out it's all true, and then I was like, oh, my whole world is flipped upside down. But that first person I told you, that Roger Lear, which is Leir for his last name, first name Roger, that scientist, that doctor who's like, he's big in the UFO thing. I actually had an encounter with him.
Oh really?
Yeah. And I know this is stupid and I shouldn't say this, but like I can't tell you guys about it online. I just want to say that I believe, in my experience with him, I believe he's legit. Like I believe he's legit, and he was studying technology and stuff. Because and the reason I can't tell you guys, it's not like because it's really cool and I have this great job or anything. It's literally a legal reason I can't speak about it.
Right. So let me write his name in the chat. Say his name again so that we can just look it up later.
It's Roger Lear. So Roger and then Leir. So he's an American surgeon and UFO. So basically, you get videos. What he would do is he would get patients who claim to have extraterrestrial devices in them, and then he would remove them, and then study them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bo, can you spell the last name again? I'm slow.
I'm sorry. It's Leir.
Leir.
Yes.
Okay, Roger. Leir.
IR. Uh-huh.
I got ADHD. Hold on. LEIR. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my god, I need my glasses. Okay. I put it in the chat because I'm gonna have to look this up later. This is super interesting. And now that you say that, I value people like you that have a personal experience or story and can vouch for them. You see that right there, it gives me like 1,000 points. So
I don't know those other people. I never worked with them. I don't know shit about them. I just know because I'm watching their videos. I don't have any interaction. I can't say if they're legit or not. So I won't go there because I don't know them, and their personality and the shows and stuff doesn't mean shit. We all know that's acting. So
right, yeah. Okay, real quick. Rebecca's in the chat. Hey, Rebecca. I just want to tell her really quickly. She sent me something on Discord. I have not watched it yet, so I just want to let you know I'm not ignoring you. I just started a new job and life got crazy, so I will get back to your message, Rebecca. Don't worry. I'm gonna get to you on Discord. Okay. So really quickly, I saw this clip on X of some pastor. I don't know who he is. I don't know where they're from. Nothing. I want to watch it with you guys firsthand. This is the first time I see this clip as well. And he's talking about the UFO moment.
Oh snaps! This is gonna be good.
Yeah. Well, let me read the description. Let me just show you where the post came from. So it came from this kosher account, and it says pastors told to prepare. Per Pastor Perry Stone, a large number of pastors were invited to a meeting with individuals from the U.S. government telling them to prepare for UFO disclosure. There's going to be a release concerning aliens. You need to prepare your people. So let's watch it together.
I had a friend that sent me a text message. I was in a meeting, a weekend meeting, preaching Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. And he said, Perry, can you give me a call? I have some information that has come to my attention. Of course, when a friend of yours does that you know quite well, you have no idea what information they're talking about. And I'm not going to go into great detail, but there were a large number of pastors that had been invited to go to a certain state to hear some men in the United States government and others share with them a concern that they had. And this particular man, and I'll not name him, and then we may end up doing some teachings with him or having an event at his church. He has a great church. But he said, Perry, what they're about to release, from what we're hearing, there's going to be a release concerning aliens and concerning unidentified flying object spacecraft, that some of the people who were in the meeting were telling us as pastors, you need to prepare your people and you need to get ready to answer them for what you're about to hear being released. And some of it has to do with crafts that have been discovered that are not allegedly a part of our planet, and the materials they're made of are not a part of our planet. Very strange reptilian-looking creatures and other things that almost sound like something out of a sci-fi movie or an Orson Welles book.
All right, I have a couple of thoughts on that. First off, the title of the show is Public Perception Manipulated to Push Agendas? And so if you go back to the Orson Welles thing, for the folks that remember that, there were a lot of Americans that really thought we were being invaded by aliens. They really thought that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gone back and listened to it, the program. It was very interesting. But yeah, Americans believed it because they heard it on the radio, which to them at the time, that was a trusted source of information. So going back then, that was the society's perception being manipulated. The other point on this, and I saw this earlier, we know that the deep state has been wanting to use Project Bluebeam, where they will come out and fake an alien invasion. Okay. I think we all I've heard that. We all know about that. So isn't it, okay, just hypothetically speaking, just throw it out there. Is it possible that this disclosure information is coming out now to actually, I guess, prime the public so that they wouldn't be fooled into a Project Bluebeam event?
Absolutely.
Is the Trump administration taking a deep state weapon away from them?
Absolutely, 100%. I've heard this and known about this for at least 15 years. 15 years we would talk about them doing this stunt.
Right.
And the fact that the vice president and everyone else is talking about it because they know the deep state's getting desperate and they want to pull that out. And now if they do that, people aren't going to buy it.
Yeah,
Right.
because they
Really,
don't
I don't think they
want,
will.
because I guess the ones that would be in control of this operation do not want the public to start freaking out and rioting and going all crazy.
Yeah. You guys want to hear
Basically.
something really crazy?
Sure.
What?
Go ahead.
All right. So, you know those little triangle UFOs with the three little like cylinder looking things they have, the light, you know, that we see all the time?
Yeah.
That thing has this name and it's called TR3B. And a TR3B is it's re-engineered from extraterrestrial technology created by the United States government. I've seen it. When I was a kid, one of them flew over our house during the day, and right behind it was a bunch of helicopters. And there were Apaches, and then I don't know the name of the helicopter, but it has the two rudders they use for
the two on the top.
Chinooks.
yeah, the
Yeah, the
Chinook.
Chinooks. Yeah, the
Chinook, yeah,
Chinooks.
but that's used for like moving like not tanks, but obviously like large vehicles and stuff. And there was one of them was behind it, and that's what got me really into learning and getting into this stuff is that experience as a kid, because it wasn't like I just saw it from far away. It's in the dark. I literally saw the thing come by, and people always say, well, maybe you thought it was, you know, the SR-71, or maybe you thought it was a stealth fighter, all this stuff. I'm like, no, dude, this is during this Desert Storm time period. We had micro machines of those vehicles you're talking about, and I know what they look like. And I was like, this thing was absolutely 100% like looked like an alien, you know, device or whatever. And then I talked to somebody who works like in the used to work in intelligence, and he actually was the one that confirmed that that was the actual name. So, and then there used to actually be a video of me doing an interview with him talking about some stuff, but it got removed from the internet.
So this is why, with all this information we've discussed so far this evening, there's why going back to the very beginning on how we got on this subject was all these scientists that have gone missing. So the media is saying that they're dead, whatever. But there is a large majority of folks that believe that, you know what, maybe they knew a lot and they were taken into protection. And we're just fed this story that they died, like they tried to scrub that guy's history that you talked about, Bo.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what they did, honestly. I personally think
them.
Exactly. Or they actually did kill him. I mean,
oh, well, yeah, there's that too. I'm just saying.
I think that they were working for Deep State, all those people, and I think the Deep State was worried they would testify because that guy that Ruby's talking about, the one that's a sellout, he actually was the one that got Congress to make witness protection on that stuff, because the government could come after you for it before what he did. And when he put the witness protection plan in play, it's now illegal for the United States government to harass you and do the shit that they do.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean that's great. That's a great thing that he did.
So it's possible. So
he created the ability for whistleblowers.
Right.
So just to hear you guys, the fact that, you know, the Deep State, I like the Bo's theory there, that they took them out so they wouldn't testify.
Yeah, I don't have proof of this, guys. My theory, just so we know.
I mean, it's a theory. So yeah, he could have just got. They could have just got smoked, as y'all said.
Yeah. So hold on. So you see, I think this is just an issue for people who are not too familiar with this type of subject. Like, in my opinion, Christians wouldn't blink twice when certain topics like this come up, because we have the biblical, you know, scriptures and just like knowledge about that. And Bo and I are fairly new to true Christianity, so it's like we're learning this now. So I wanted to share this for anybody else that's interested, because when I was inquiring, that was one of my questions. How does the Orthodox Church view stuff like this, especially when it comes with the government and psyops and, you know, all of that? I want to share this with you guys. I'm gonna share my screen one more time. Now this tweet is from a ex-user named Vlad Orthodoxy. Father Seraphim Rose claimed UFOs are a demonic deception. And now this is happening with the government trying to push the UFO propaganda. Everyone must read this book, whether you are Christian or not. I'm going to just play this clip and I'm going to let you guys, I just wanted to share that book with you.
This book, to this day, it's the #1 religious selling book in Russia. He did a whole chapter on UFOs. I'm like, this is wild. His conclusion is it is a true materialization of a demonic deception. He also proposed that the Antichrist could be this deception of an alien being coming down. He quotes this guy, Saint Simeon, the struggler of prayer should quite rarely look into the sky out of fear of the evil spirits in the air who cause many and various deceptions in the air. Bishop Ignatius recorded an awe and foreboding vision. In the middle of the day, he suddenly saw multiple demons in human form sitting in the branches of the forest trees in strange garments and pointed caps and singing, "Our years have come, our will be done." I really do believe that there are stuff that is seen in the sky could be heavenly, but I also believe that there is this true demonic deception that we don't even know what they can do. This one guy who's a UFOologist, he wrote, dabbling with UFOs can be as dangerous as dabbling with black magic. That is crazy. It's scary, man.
See, I don't disagree one bit that there are a demonic side of this, a dark side. I don't disagree with that at all. But I also believe that there's another force working against that. I believe there's a warring faction going on there.
Yeah, well, I only share that because sometimes I do believe that the government can be in cahoots with dark inner entities.
Absolutely.
To fool us. And I don't know. I can't even begin to try to explain that conspiracy theory that I have. It's just something in my gut that makes me feel like they either talk to or ask questions to demons or the devil or whatever. And that's why we see this evilness in the government. But I don't know. That's
how right you are, though, from his historical perspective. A lot of scientists, a lot of nuclear engineers, a lot of people in those fields, they say things like that something came to them in a dream and then gave them the knowledge and it was downloaded. That's always the key point you gotta look for. They'll say that they just got the knowledge somehow. It was downloaded and then they learned how to make a nuke. Like, and that's I'm not even joking. Like, literally, guy who started making a nuclear weapon claimed that entities taught him how to do it.
Wow. And see, the thing is the human being is being manipulated by these entities, and for them to, for the human being to go along with it, what are they promised? Fame, fortune, all this stuff. So that's why we hear people in Hollywood or even in the sports arenas say they sold their soul. They sold their soul. So that's saying they're going to do the will of these dark beings.
It's creepy if you think about how many scientists and how many people in Hollywood and how many people in the music industry are all saying the exact same thing.
Yep. Dave, what do you think about all this?
That's definitely a Christian perspective on it, which interestingly it's not really a thing in Asia, right? I don't know, it's like I'm still kind of debating whether or not aliens are inherently, like extraterrestrial life forms, whether or not they're inherently demonic or if it's like something just specific groups, right? Because just historically different cultures have different they may have different names for it, but there's always, the good, the bad, and then the more neutral ones.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't think there would be a panic if there was a mass alien abduction. Little reason for that is I was actually on another podcast discussing this, but there's two reasons. First, globally, maybe not so much in the US, but globally, there's been many accounts of extraterrestrial activity, and there hasn't been the same restriction that the US government did, right? No other government clamped down on people talking about UFO sightings or anything like that. You can even find it on like temples, right? The governments here, they never actively work to discredit people right, who saw UFOs and things like that, while subtly, now they're releasing, oh yeah, we've had remote viewers since 1960s and they saw aliens, right? Like
Mhm.
no other government did this. Also, in popular media globally, you have shows like Star Trek, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, things like that. So that's one example, the social example. Another is the religious example, because as I mentioned, every culture has some type of like extraterrestrial beings, right? So if aliens were to do a mass abduction, right, whether it's the government or an actual abduction, whatever the case is, people would see it as a very religious event, a very sacred event,
Mhm.
right? I mean, you have Islam that has their own interpretation. Hinduism, we have very much our own beliefs on that, right? So it's not a negative, right? And it seems to me that like Project Bluebeam is more geared toward America specifically, and maybe Canada and maybe like a couple like Western countries, maybe, but it wouldn't be like a universal global thing, right? Like it wouldn't have effect on the population outside of like America if it is Project Bluebeam.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I can
Project
see that.
Bluebeam is to cause mass panic within the U.S. for us to give away more of our rights to
Yeah.
just a militarized government. That was the whole
Yeah.
idea behind it. Oh my gosh,
Gotcha.
we're worried
Okay.
about aliens. Now we need to like. I mean, it's if you think about it, it's really stupid because like if these aliens have this technology, like what is a stealth fighter gonna do? Like, it ain't gonna do shit against shit that's traveling outer space and
No.
Mach 50 and
Allegedly.
everything else. Yeah,
Yeah.
allegedly. Like, I mean, it's not gonna do nothing. They can shut down the nuclear systems and bypass our radars and blip in and out of existence. Like, you ain't gonna do crap with the stupid, F-22.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's how I see that. That's just another agenda being pushed to manipulate us. I do not have fear anymore because I think in the other episodes, I don't know if I've ever said that. I was kind of, well, I did. I hesitated a lot on that subject and I was like,
Mhm.
I don't really want to talk about that. And, people were really pushing it. And then we did the episode. But now I'm not afraid of the subject. I'm not even worried about it. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. To me, it's just another psyop and I don't care about it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting subject. So, all right, I think we covered that pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was. I
we
did
really
not
did.
expect to go there. I'll be honest with you.
No,
That was
no,
really
we
great.
did not
Yeah.
expect
It's
it.
great. It's great.
Yep. Let me know where you want to
All
go
right.
next because we had a couple of different topics.
Whatever you guys
Oh, well,
decide you want to go.
yeah, you had some stuff you want to talk about, kind of more political stuff, I guess, and news events things. We've had a lot of stuff happen over the past week. Since our last show, there was a lot of things that happened in the political scheme of things. I saved some stuff to my X account that I can share with you guys, and Ruby had some too that she wanted to talk about as well. So, do you want to start first, Ruby?
Okay. Really quick, we can talk about because I don't think we have to say much about this. It's very, it explains itself. California, Bo. Let's talk about it because we mentioned it right before we came live. California mayor, she she
Wait, is
pleaded
it a mayor
guilty.
or governor?
Yeah, she was a mayor.
No, she's a mayor. She's a mayor.
She's a mayor. Okay, yeah.
Some Asian lady.
Ellen
Chinese.
Yo.
Yes. So she pleaded guilty to being what? What is the official language?
Spying for the Chinese Communist Party on the U.S. government. She admitted to it, and she's been doing. I think I forgot what we see from 2020 through 2022. So yeah, Mayor Ellen Wang in California has been charged with acting as an illegal agent of the People's Republic of China in the United States. This is coming from FBI Director Kash Patel. So she's admitted to doing it. Like, is this really a surprise? Like a Democrat,
exactly, right?
California,
But if,
working for communism? Gee, what a surprise. I was blown away. Not.
but hold on, because I was thinking about if we do say that stuff, right? then we're gonna be called racist because she's Chinese, right? But it's very bothersome when the stereotype is always true. Like why is that, right? Like if she was running in my state, that would have been the very first thing that popped into my head. Like, she's not from here. Even if she was born from here, just the fact that she's Chinese, that bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would say the same thing about anybody who's Jewish and running for office. You know what I'm saying? Like, it bothers me.
Yeah,
And
but I
this
think
is
with the whole
why. Yeah,
Oh,
go
sorry,
ahead,
go ahead,
Jimmy.
I was going to say, this is, it's not a racist thing. It's a pattern thing, because we can even look at Eric Swalwell and the allegations of him messing with Fang Fang, who was known as to be a Chinese spy.
Just no, I'm not going to trust any Chinese women trying to talk to me.
We also know that there was a program in place for expectant Chinese mothers to come to the U.S., have their baby here, and go back to China, and then later on, when the kid gets age enough, whatever, they're an American citizen. So
hell no, but that's old news.
I know, but there's something to look at here. We know that the Chinese are the deep state faction in the Chinese government, the CCP. All right, they have been infiltrating our country. This is why we have a problem with Chinese spies. This is why we have a problem with them coming over, having their kids here. Yeah. So not everybody that is Chinese belongs to the CCP or is doing the bidding of the CCP. So I just wanted to put that out there as well. But it's a very interesting pattern once you start looking at it. And you got what? His name, Mitch McConnell, isn't his? Okay, somebody fact check me, please. I'll fact check myself. Ellen Zhao, I think she's Chinese, and she's a senator.
Is that his wife or something?
Yeah, she's got some very high connections too.
Yeah, you see, that's problematic. I'm sorry, it really doesn't have anything to do with race. It has to do with their affiliation to those countries that they are from. They just happen to be from there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do not trust any of them in places of government. I don't understand why that's so hard. Yeah,
is everyone's going to be looking at these politicians and seeing who's got Asian wives.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna have to go under. Another pattern. Is that? Now I'm saying this, and it's kind of a joke, but it's kind of not at the same time. Is okay? Are those the handlers?
Yes.
Actually, yes.
Was Harley's.
I'm about ready to blow y'all's mind again. I'm looking up something real quick. Follow.
No, I mean, it's not, and I mean, Ruby's right. It's not even a race thing, because, like, the interesting thing is America's the only country, right? And I could say this because, like, my wife is Mongolian, but she does have, let's just say, very prominent family members in politics and art and things like that, right? So even though I'm a U.S. citizen, even though I'm white, there's still that connection to a foreign entity, right? And, like, I know people will have that knee-jerk reaction, but the reality is, okay, if I ever move back and run for office, I mean, how do you know I'm doing what's good for the best people? I'm not on the phone with friends and family, because you really think that people in other countries, like not just Mongolia or China, but do you think people with other, with wives or husbands, spouses, ties to other countries, that the influence isn't there? And you really think that people from those nations won't be like, oh, we have a nephew that's running for office in America. Let's hit him up because we need some things, right? And then that's how that starts.
So I thought this was interesting because we're talking about the connection these wives have to high-powered individuals in our government. And it's just kind of funny. Let me read something to y'all. It comes from July 28th, 2018. It is a Q post, 1744. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll go to the part that's relevant. It says, date of promotion of wife. How do they stack the deck? Who do they want inside the government? What are puppets? How do you control a puppet? Number 2, an FBI. Wife connection. What is a pattern? Follow the wives. Keep watching the news this week. Future proves past.
Yep.
Reread crumbs.
No, I mean, it's
So
nothing new that they're using women to manipulate men. Like, this is like the oldest playbook.
Exactly.
Well, it's not even just
Exactly.
that.
Unless-
It's just the culture
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you guys were to go to Asia, you will find that the men, while the men are the head of the household, you will find that Asian women across all Asian countries, they're very outspoken. They play a very prominent role in the direction of the family. They even, play a role in the career their husbands have for their social status, right? So I mean, it's more than just a manipulation thing. It's an entire cultural thing.
yeah, JG's right. It's
Yeah.
called a honeypot.
Yeah.
And I have no issue staying consistent with my stance by also saying that I have a problem with JD Vance's wife. I do not like that she is the second lady. I mean, if he wants to marry her, have children, go right ahead. You can do that. I don't want that in my government. Okay, that's when I have a problem with it. All right, I don't have a
Right.
problem with his preference at all. I don't care. But the fact that they are in positions of power, that's when I have a problem. Same thing goes for Trump. I'm gonna stay consistent. I love Melania. I love her. But because she is not American, and you know what I mean by that, that's not just a piece of paper. She is really not American. Okay. I have a problem with that. In positions of authority and government, yes, I have a problem with Melania. I love her as a person. I love her. I love her for Donald as well. They're a great couple. I just don't want you in my government. I don't want you speaking on my behalf. I don't want you telling me how I'm supposed to feel. I will never vote for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the stakes weren't as high as they were in 2020 and 2024, whatever the election was, I would have not voted the way I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were struggling with a lot of stress back then in those elections for no damn reason. And I felt like Trump was the only one that we had. But if it wasn't for that, I would have voted third party. I would have voted constitutionalist. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that when the wives or the husband, I mean, Vivek is a perfect example. I was really loving his politics and what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he is not American, he is not from here, and he was a Hindu or Buddhist, I forgot what religion. He's not Christian.
He's Hindu. He was born in America.
Okay.
His parents emigrated to America. Like, he was legally
yeah,
they
no.
legally emigrated.
Well, yeah, he
was
would
born.
have to have been in order to run for president.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. The technicalities, I don't care. I would change that law
Yeah,
immediately
but Ruby,
because
but
just
Ruby, let me
because
let
he
me
was
let
born
me
here doesn't mean he's American. Yeah,
let me
go
let me
ahead,
ask
Jimmy.
you let me ask you a question though. Maybe look at a different angle. Everybody that how America was founded, we were all founded by immigrants. I mean, they all came over here. That's how America was formed. All these different nations and everything like that, and they all conformed to the idea of having a place of liberty and freedom, and so the U.S. was born.
Mhm.
When they got here, they weren't what we call American, but they helped found and build American values and culture.
Yeah,
So
completely different.
isn't it possible that some folks like Vivek, okay, I may not agree with all his politics, but he was born in America. He's pro-America. We have other immigrants that have come here from years, and they have adopted and assimilated. So they would actually probably back you on some of your ideas because they love America. You see what I'm saying?
In conversation, maybe, but not in positions of power. I would never vote for someone like him to be in office, to represent me. Never, because he is not me. He doesn't even look like me, and he does not have the same family history as me. He belongs in his country where his parents came from. They're not American. So once again, and I've said this before, just because you were born here doesn't make you an American. So even though I love his politics, I was loving the campaign, I was loving all of it, I would never vote for him because of his nationality, his ethnicity, I mean, and because of his religion. So those two things are huge for me. And then the third one, Vivek was not as hardcore as I wanted him to be. I really want like a true America first. I want somebody worse than Donald Trump, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And Vivek is not worse than Donald Trump. I want Donald Trump times 10. And I want the 2016 Donald Trump. That's what I
was
missed.
that's kind of my take, actually.
Yeah.
I would love to see, because it's like, okay, I don't live in America, but I think the only way to get America back on track is to force people to be Christian, kill their children in the streets if they will not convert, mass executions, bring back gas chambers, force people, like segregate people. Like, no, seriously, this is what other countries do, and people can say what they want. Like, you look at the social issues in America that like everyone's debating about, they don't exist in those countries.
Hey,
right?
I get that,
Like,
but you can't force that.
and this is why, like, I'm fine with Ruby saying I'm not American, because it's like, I want an ethno state. I want forced compliance to moral law.
Dave's not
America will
American.
never be
Nope.
that. Yeah, but that's the point. It's because it's like, you know, that's what Donald Trump times 10 is, because Donald Trump is bringing down the hammer on everybody in the country, right? And so it's like, hey, you know what? And two, like, let's think about it from this way. Americans, as we can agree that many Americans are like complacent, they don't care, they're all over the place, right? They are so ignorant to how luxurious of lifestyles the poor people have. I think a wake-up call might be a good thing, right? What is the cycle? Hard men create good times create weak men, weak men create hard times. Maybe it's time to bring down the hammer. And
I agree with you, Dave. I want the
and then
you
it'll come
do,
back,
but it will never happen like that in America, because you can't force that type of mentality to Americans. Like, we're wired differently. Our brains are different. You will never get Americans like us to you know, bend the knee like that, if that makes sense. It just wouldn't work.
I agree, and that's what it's like a catch-22, right? Because Ruby and I, like, would love to see these things, but people aren't doing it naturally, and America is just so full of luxury and, at this point, decadence, both moral and like physical decadence, right? That I don't see any other way of doing that, because I mean, you look at Rome, one of the most decadent civilizations on the planet. It imploded for that reason, because of all the division, the moral turpitude, and things like that. And then what happened? The Holy Roman Empire was founded because good people stood up, brought down the hammer, they brought down the Inquisitions, and then, you know, they survived.
I get that. But you see here, all of our problems are on purpose. They do it through the music, through the movies. They destroyed families, no fault divorces. They don't even enforce decency laws anymore. So all of that has contributed to what we see right now. That's why I always say this on here. We just have to enforce the laws that already exist, and our country would be better. It will start turning around when women.
If we started enforcing the actual laws, it would turn around. I agree with that.
That's why you got to get rid of the entities that have been destroying our rights and keeping us from living that way we should be living in.
Well, I mean, they have been going after those judges recently, which we talked about this would eventually happen. Oh, by the way, I got to throw this out here. I'm sorry, this is completely like kind of random, but I just want to say this. Do you guys remember the last show that was on, and I said if my resources were correct, there was going to be talks on a certain date for
about what?
Ukraine and Russia?
Oh,
it happened.
It did happen.
I wanted to throw, like, remember I told you guys, if it doesn't, make sure you attack me and tell me I was full of crap and all that stuff. Remember I said, but if it does,
I don't remember that. So what talk? What happened?
So I mentioned on the show that there was going to be a peace talk that were going to take place with Russia and Ukraine, and I gave a certain date.
Okay. So when did it
didn't know
happen?
That was on the 9th.
Yeah, Saturday.
Okay.
So, and then now it's all coming out. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That remember I said if the
Yeah, he did
resources,
say that.
and this has to go with the European thing that we were talking about, where I said
Mhm.
that Europe is deep state. This is where that
Mhm.
conversation was coming
Yeah.
from. Sorry, I just talked in my head, and I was like, I gotta say this. I gotta tell Ruby this.
Well, it's interesting you bring
remember
that
it,
up
and then I
because
was gonna forget.
because I've been seeing articles that like Europe is getting sick of Zelensky.
Because
Yeah, there's
Zelensky has agreed to follow with the peace treaty because Trump told him, if you listen to the European heads, we're done with you. We're not supplying you. We're not giving you nothing.
Yeah.
And then Russia's going to shit stomp you because that's the only thing that's keeping them back.
Well, and the interesting thing is too, it's like Europe is getting sick of Zelensky, right? With all his like handouts and all of his speeches and everything that he keeps going for. And you know, since you brought up Europe as a deep state, I'm wondering, and you guys can respond to this, but I'm wondering if part of the reason or the main reason why they're now sick of him is because he hasn't gotten results.
What was that? You it glitched out a little bit. What did you say?
He didn't get results. Like Zelensky failed to.
Zelensky failed to do whatever Europe wanted to do.
Well, I think
okay,
so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
I agree with that.
I mean, we've been sick of him since day one. The very first day I saw who that guy was and that dancing video that he's like an actor or something, or a comedian or something.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm living in a fake world. I'm in the Matrix, and I feel like I want to cut myself or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I could feel something, because I'm like, what are we? And that's a joke, by the way. Relax, everybody. Because when I see
We make
stuff
those
like
kind
that,
of jokes here.
yo, we do.
Like my 5-minute tirade on turning America into like something worse than China. Yeah, we make those jokes here. Just so you guys know.
It's just because I don't know how else to explain it, but like it gets me upset because when you see stupid stuff like that, and then now all of a sudden he's a president of a country, no, you know what I'm saying? Like what?
Yeah.
And then I was getting attacked on X when I was like super anti-Zelensky, and all these Ukrainians are are trying to like attack me in the comment section, like, oh, well, you should support. I don't have to support nobody from no country. I got my own problems at home and my own president that I have to criticize. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got our own problems here.
I actually said that. So here's something. So one of my old roommates, when I first like moved to Utah, he was from Ukraine, and he was like studying English and something else at Brigham Young University, right? And like his girlfriend is doing the same thing, and she came over to hang out one day, and she's from the Donbass region, and she started like asking me and the other guys that were there like if we supported Ukraine, and I'm like, no, like I don't care. And then she started talking about the Donbass region and stuff like that. And then I'm just like, yeah, why should I care? Like, we have bills to pay. I have child support to pay. Like, if Ukraine gets wiped out, you know, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly. Like,
shouldn't have kidnapped their kids. I mean, what do you think's going to happen when you start running and kidnapping their kids? You think they're going to tolerate that? Like, I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for Ukraine.
No.
Like, are they out there Ukraine
Ukraine is historically Russian anyway, so
yeah,
it's like
exactly
you wanted independence, like
yeah, and ever since they got that independence or whatever, that's when the deep state went into there and started creating a hub for them. That was one of their main locations, and we know of the child trafficking tunnels that Putin has gone in and, you know, discovered. We know that they were also doing bioengineering for chemical weapons. So there was a lot going on in Ukraine that was evil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like one of the most corrupted countries on the face of the planet.
Yeah,
and that's where C-19 came from, right? That's why Trump was saying. That's where COVID came from, Ukraine, at a lab in Ukraine, remember?
Yes.
And Trump was saying China,
Yeah.
China, China, and that was
Yeah.
like it was actually a
The
city
name of
named
the
China.
cities.
Exactly, like
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, there's several cities in Ukraine. There's like a first name of it and then dash CHYNA. So that's why Trump would literally come out and say China. He would
Exactly.
enunciate it.
No.
So that was
well, the
interesting.
interesting thing is too, and like Ukraine is still struggling even with U.S. weapons. And if you someone said it earlier, but like if the U.S. stops funding it, it will no longer be a stalemate. They'll just get shit stomped because Russia has the resources, it has the firepower to do it. And the thing about American tech is it's big, it's expensive, it's precise. I mean, it's good, it's high quality, right? But Russia has a long history of beating the shit out of Europe, mainly the Germans, by using cardboard boxes and sticks. Literally, right? Like they can just mass produce garbage tanks and overrun tigers, right? Like, you know, in the German case, right?
Yeah.
So it's like at some point, even if, like, let's say the Democrats become president again, right? Let's just say, and they give more military tech to Ukraine. I mean, at some point, it's going to hurt the US even more than it is, and they won't be able to keep up with the sheer demand because you're using $60,000 Patriot missiles to, you know, blow up a tank that was like cost $4,000 in the Soviet era and can barely go through mud. Right? It's good. Like the finances will catch up eventually. The manpower will catch up because it can't make Patriot missiles as fast as Russia can shit out garbage tanks.
Yeah, their garbage tank supply that was almost completely depleted. Because we actually have satellites that watch their
Yeah,
their
I mean
field.
they're getting it from China too. They have other sources.
Yeah,
for
they're
military.
buying tanks, old tanks from other countries, and shipping them in.
Yeah,
So like, what is that, like 1960s? They're using tanks from 1960s.
exactly. Yeah, and that's why I think Russia eventually will win, even if it's not like a full decisive military victory. It's going to be like a Vietnam type situation where it's going to cost the U.S. too much money, too much time, too much equipment to make it worth staying in there.
Yep.
The only thing that can save Ukraine is those.
Make a deal with Trump.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, okay, we've said that.
Make a deal
Obviously,
with
making a
Putin.
deal with Trump and Putin.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
if they're stupid and they don't, the only thing that could keep them afloat, it might make Russia stop, is if those factories do go live that are producing those drones, those new drone systems. Those are cheap, easy, and effective. That could be enough of the detour that Russia might actually stop. But I find it unlikely because if Russia stops, then Putin's people will kill him because they lost
He'll
million
probably
people for no
use
reason.
nukes at some point.
You really think so?
I
mean, I know
so,
the government says they're going to do it. So
well, so I've been seeing stuff online from multiple sources, including like Ukrainian sources, where Russia has moved short-range nukes into position, right? Whether or not they'll be used is another story, but I lean towards Putin would use them simply because, I mean, positioning them, like activating them, positioning them, getting the military units in place for nuclear fallout. You don't do that for the hell of it. You don't even do that as a bluff because that costs millions of dollars and you literally are repositioning your army.
not to mention if Ukraine hits one of those nukes when they're positioning them, we could have a nuke go off in Russian territory.
Yeah, and then Russia would use nukes in response at that point.
Yeah, that could just completely blow out of control instantly.
Yeah. But I mean, what other country would use, to Raphael's question, what other country would use it? Israel wouldn't. The US probably wouldn't. China's backing Russia, right? England is staying out of it. Europe is staying out of it because they're worried about a nuclear, blowout.
So quick Jimmy said he's gonna be back, so we'll wait for Jimmy. But quick story time. If any of you guys are on your computer right now in chat or whoever, Google this real quick because this was really interesting. I got a text message from like this number asking for surveys or whatever, and I was like, first of all, mad racist because they probably got my number and my last name is Hispanic, so they probably thought I spoke Spanish, and they sent me a text message in Spanish, right? And I was like, speak American. And then the next message was, we can switch to English if you like. I'm here to listen and talk about Israel and its importance as a US ally. Right? So
Hey, it's a
let's talk about
chatbot.
this for a minute. Is it? Because I want you guys to look this up, all right? So I was like, who are you and who do you work for? So they said, I work for Friends for Peace, a supporter group focused on correcting misinformation and sharing accurate information about Israel and the Middle East. And I tried to do a Google search and I found out that they're just like pro-Israel machine, I guess, trying to change people's opinions about them. Like, I don't know. You guys tell me. Look it up. It's called Friends for Peace, right? And
I've
I was
seen
like,
them on
For
Facebook.
peace.
I've seen them on
ah,
Facebook. Yeah, they're on
okay.
Facebook. It's basically a whole thing where they're trying to make Israel look good.
Okay. So yeah, this guy tried whether he's a bot or not. Well, he picked the right one to text. And this is kind of weird because my husband got this same prompt type messaging about 2 weeks ago or something, and he was typing and he never texts. So I was like, "Why are you wasting your time with this?" I was like, "Yeah, that could be a bot. Like, why waste your time?" But then when I got the message, I took the bait as well. I was like, "Okay, I'm ready. Let's go." I was like, "We don't share any values with Israel. Like, what are you talking about?" All right. So you already know me. I go through all my spiels. And
Is it
then this
Friends
bot
for Peace? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
yeah,
Friends for
yes,
Peace.
Friends
Several
for
district
Peace.
entities randomly from grassroots peace-building groups of the UN-based diplomatic platform focused on the Ukrainian conflict. So apparently they're
Yeah.
really into which focus on relations and nonviolence and new China Brazil-led groups aimed at promoting dialogue in the Russian-Ukrainian war.
Uh-huh. Them
Interesting.
people texted me. Yeah, they texted me today.
You got
Um
the Israel division. You should have just texted back the artist was right all along.
I don't
Oh
get
my
this.
God.
Can you explain to me what you just said?
It's a reference to Hitler being correct
Yeah,
in
to
his
Hitler.
ideology.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my
Like
god.
And
I'm one of those people that'll do that because everybody else does that. Like there'll be someone who's like, there's actually someone who was like promoting Friends of Peace and they went to like Auschwitz, right? And the comments of them like going through Auschwitz, like I was a part of that, I won't lie, but it's brutal. Like like
oh my God. Mhm.
I honestly think you either have to be paid really well to do that kind of work, or you have to have like a humiliation kink to like promote Israel because you're just going to get destroyed.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean the
Mhm.
it is interesting. The flip has been very, very quick
Mhm.
because Israel was like, "Oh yeah," and then the Palestine thing came down, and it's just been like that. That's the worst PR thing that has ever happened to them. I mean, from a United States perspective, I guess I should say that because I mean they've
They're fighting everybody. Like nobody likes Israel.
Mhm. Okay, so yeah, so I don't know if this is a real person or not, but I entertained the conversation. Anyways, so they're pro-Israel, right? Say, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And the prompt was, we're supporting the US-Israel relationship based on shared democratic values and national security cooperation. And we're working to educate people about the importance of this alliance. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. How do you think Israel's role as a US ally impacts American security, especially when it comes to countering threats from Iran?
you should have sent them a GoFundMe account address and see if they give you money.
A GoFundMe account. That would have been interesting.
Oh,
It'd just be
It's
like, I'd be happy to support you for a reasonable donation. Here's my whatever.
So here's my
Um,
thoughts on this. You know,
yeah, go ahead,
this
Jimmy.
is a targeted campaign, because if you look at
Mhm.
it, go back to last summer when Charlie Kirk was making his rounds and everything, how many college campuses was he on where people started opening their eyes to stuff that Israel was doing? You had young folks starting to realize this. So them knowing that these kids now believe, they're pretty much anti-Israel government, they have to have another propaganda machine to try to get those people back, in my opinion.
I don't think they're going to be able to do that, honestly.
I don't think they're going to be able to do it either.
I think
Yeah.
the relationship with Israel and the United States is going to be bad for a while. Because
Yeah,
of all this
definitely.
stuff.
What did I just read? Oh, I just read something where Netanyahu, just here in the last couple of days, said they needed to start to think about not taking U.S. money anymore.
Yeah, I've seen that too. They want to
Okay, so
become
he
more
gets his-
independent.
Yeah.
So, really quick, let me just finish the story, because this bot is trying to tell me that when the US, and I'm reading the text, when the US is strong and working with allies, it puts pressures on regimes like Iran instead of empowering them. That doesn't make sense to me. Let me continue, because once again, that's not our problem. That's none of our business. I don't understand why this is an issue, right? And then I really kept throwing this guy down, and he was like, I understand you have strong feelings about this, but I believe Israel is a vital ally to the US. Before I go, would you be open to sharing your email? And I was like, no. Go ahead.
The chat bot.
So I think it's
it's,
fake.
it's definitely a bot, because things like, I understand you have strong feelings, like having that, as well as such like a formal, like, even like when I was living in the States, and you get those text messages for like political parties during voting season, like real humans don't even talk like that.
Right.
Like if you off on them, they just don't respond.
Because every other message.
Yeah.
Okay, because every other message was, I strongly disagree with your views. And then the next one, I understand you have strong feelings about this. I respectfully disagree with your views on Israel. And it was like trying to persuade the person, right, whoever they're texting, that all of the videos that they're showing, all more propaganda to try to make Americans pro-Israel again, which tells me that they're really having a decline, because why else would they be texting people and having discussions about a different country?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at statistically, like the little voting channels and things, you'd be like, do you support Israel? No, I mean, it's historically lower than it's ever been.
Yeah.
It's manipulation to push an agenda, like our title says.
Yeah. Now the question is the hating Israel. I mean, obviously what is going on there is not going well. But the thing that I wonder is, who is pushing this let's hate Israel thing, and what's their ultimate goal for it? That's the question that I want to know. Like, there's got to be a reason why they want us to hate them so much.
But
historically, I mean, just I had that question when I first woke up from Watchtower. One of the questions I had was about Israel and why so many countries hated Israel, because I did not know the answer to that.
Mossad.
But see, it goes back further than that. We go back centuries of all these different nations that just did not like. Now, granted, the name Israel wasn't, 1948. Okay, the government came in, but before that, they were just referred to as the Jews. So let me repeat what I said, or rephrase what I said. I was always wondered why the Jews were always hated by people. And that took me back, going centuries of all these different nations that would kick out Jews and what they were doing. So once I found that out, and then I started making the political connection to everything, that goes all the way back to learning about the Khazarian Mafia and what they were doing and how they've influenced, Israeli government. So it's just very interesting to me that a lot of people don't know that history. And I think that has a lot to do with it here.
What were you going to say, Ruby?
Mhm.
I know you were saying something, and then
No, who said that there's this hate campaign? Nobody said that. Nobody said we have to hate Israel or that we should hate them. That was never a line. That was never a talking point about hating another nation or country. We've never said or stated to hate them for any particular reason. All we're saying is that our government and politics have been hijacked by APAC and the lobby groups that pay
Agreed.
our politicians to vote in their favor, and then the dual citizenship, and they are elected into office. That's the pattern that we're saying we don't want. That America First does not want that, should not want that. And if it is happening, then there is a problem.
The state of this. Sorry, Ruby.
Mhm.
The state of Israel was founded and organized by the the Rockefeller Connection.
Mhm.
It's a Rothschild puppet in the Middle East, all designed to destabilize the Middle East.
Yeah.
And for all of our lives, that's all we've ever known is destabilization in the Middle East. What is the common denominator there? Well, that would be a
MI6.
Rockefeller. What's that?
MI6.
Yeah, MI6, Mossad, CIA. That's how they've kept this. That's how they've kept them alive this long and in power for so long. So that's why when you're talking to people, you're like, look, I don't hate the Jewish people at all. I hate and despise the deep state Israeli government that is, like Ruby said, hijacking ours as well. So we got them hijacking our government, and then we have the Chinese spies coming in and hacking the government. There's a problem, folks. Yeah, exactly.
So hold on, because Bo said he wanted to mention something about Thomas Macy. You guys already know I am a Macy fan. I appreciate his America First stance.
Oh yeah,
And
I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm sorry, Ruby. I forgot that you liked him. So, okay, GOP lawmakers demand the release of $17 million congressional sexual slush fund list. So, what's happened is his assistant, who is / his girlfriend, has now been brought into court saying that he was asking her to do really gross, inappropriate things. He refused, or she refused, and he started threatening her. And so she went, and I guess she has the receipts to back this shit up, and recorded him and stuff, and he didn't realize it and has turned it in. And now it's coming out that our buddy here has got a lot of deviant behavior going on, and he's been paying multiple women to be quiet about these, I guess, dirty sexual things that they're doing. Now, the one thing I will say, though, is as far as I know, there hasn't been any shit about kids that I'm aware of.
Okay.
It's just been like prostitutes and like orgies and our good old liberal good stuff. And
okay.
So I
okay,
think
hold
I
on.
think he's a liberal personally. I think that's what it is.
Okay. So who is this woman? What's her name?
I would have to go back and watch the interview that I had with her that she was on there. I just took that one clip.
Okay, and when did she allege these things happened? What year?
It's brand spanking new. Just came
right,
out.
But
like,
that didn't just happen yesterday. So she's alleging that he did this while she was working for him, correct? So we don't know.
Yeah,
like, when...
and then to do some of these sexual favors that he wanted, she did the sexual favors to get jobs. He got her.
Okay.
Jobs.
No. Stop right there. This is not going to be another.
She's complicit. Like, what's the
Yeah,
problem?
exactly.
He
Exactly. She was
offered
a
it.
consenting
She
adult.
wanted it. What's the
Yeah,
problem?
yeah. Leave me alone. Don't. No. You see, this is what they
Well,
did to
the big thing about it is that he was using campaign money and stuff to
Right,
pay for
right. That's
hookers and
illegal.
shit.
Right.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
that right
That's
there
on
is
And then the
yeah.
money, I mean, $17 million supposedly
Mhm.
is being used for this hush money and stuff for all these different
Okay.
people and these things he should have been doing. That's a lot of money spending on prostitutes. I
So
mean,
Agreed. Yeah.
that's a pretty big.
so
That to me, that's like somebody who's got a serious mental issue who's
Problem.
going to be
Yeah.
doing something like that. Not to
Mhm.
mention
so
his
that
wife
7
died of cancer and he had multiple girlfriends and prostitutes while that process was going on,
Allegedly.
supposedly. Allegedly.
Mhm.
So, of course, once again, this could be, she could be a deep state operative trying to
Mhm.
destroy his credibility.
Mhm.
It is a possibility,
Mhm.
but
that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
throwing it
I
out
believe
there. We
that.
don't know that until they actually go through, but the way it looks though is that he is getting prosecuted for this stuff.
So that 17 million, that was campaign money, correct?
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah.
those would be, so that would not be anything from taxpayers directly.
Those
I'm
are
thinking
like
about
donations
yeah,
to
maybe
his thing.
maybe there
Yeah.
could have been an indirect way of that, being taxpayer money. I don't know. I'm just thinking out
Mhm.
loud. So that would be, that would be the crime to worry about there. If he was using campaign dollars to fund his habit,
Right.
that right there is the problem. It has nothing to do with, and maybe these stories are coming out to maybe hide the fact of what he actually really did. So when, let's say, he's exonerated from her
Right.
alleged
Right.
accusations, okay, that's all people are going to think about. They're
That
not
he
going to
was
think
acquitted
about
for that and not dig deeper. Or
yeah,
did it actually did happen and they're just using it to blackmail him so he can change his opinion about something or his vote about something. And this is how they target men like that. And this is why I really, really, really wish that we had true Christian nationalists in government, because a real Christian wouldn't do that.
Hot take: get women back in the kitchen.
Her name is
Yeah.
Massey.
hey,
No, I mean, I've been seeing some people who call themselves Christian nationalists that want to like repeal the woman's right to vote and like get women out of
I
politics.
agree.
in
I
general.
agree with that. I agree with that
Yeah,
stance.
so I'm not. I said it harshly, but it's not like, it's not like there's not a basis for it. Like, that's how you avoid these things.
Exactly. But these Christian, so-called Christian men who are in government who have that, right? Because Thomas Macy he gives that front of conservatism. If he really
Yeah.
was a true Christian, he would have not done that, right? So let's just say if he did do that, allegedly, that's not Christian. So he needs spiritual
Was this
help.
recent? Was this recent, or was this
yeah,
like?
this
We don't
this
we
just
don't
came
It's
out
real
know.
last
recent.
week.
It's very recent. So his
Oh, okay,
wife
okay.
died, and then like I guess 6 months later, he's got a new wife, and the new wife, and then some of these girlfriends during that time period of him when his wife was sick are coming out and saying that he was threatening them if he came out and talked about the things that he was cheating on his wife and stuff, that he was threatening them and then paying them off too on top of that. So
Right.
that's why this has become such a big, like, if he was just like, a bad person cheating on his wife and stuff, like it would look bad. But the fact that he was
Right.
basically trying to blackmail people, that he was
And
getting
using
Cliff to be
campaign
quiet
money to
and
do
using
it.
campaign money is really, really blown up really
But
bad.
who
'Cause
says that they
that's,
weren't trying to do that to him? Like, what? It could go both ways.
I don't
Those
know.
women could
I'm
have
not
been
aware
used.
of that. They don't say anything about it. As far as there's just this Macy person and a few others are claiming that he offered, like, one of the things is he offered like $60K to be quiet to one of these people.
Okay, hold on. To be quiet about the fact that he cheated on his wife?
No, I don't know what it was for. I don't remember what she said. I don't know, but not the cheating on the wife thing. The 60K was he was asking her to be part of something really degenerate, and that she didn't say what it was. She said it was
Do
really
y'all want to
nasty,
hear?
degenerate, and I don't want anything to
Do
do
y'all
with
want to
it.
hear?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Jimmy.
There, do y'all want to hear? There's a little clip I found of her. It's like 3 minutes of her talking.
Sure. And a quick
the
hello
title
to
says
Dallas.
breaking bombshell accusations hit Republican Thomas Massie. A woman named Cynthia West, identifying herself as Massie's former girlfriend, is claiming that Massie pressured her into deviant sexual behavior and bribed her with $5,000 to stay quiet. He then had her fired from a congressional staffer job when she refused. West says Massie first reached out via DM on X in August 2024, less than 2 months after his wife of 31 years died, and the alleged incidents followed. A complaint was reportedly filed in fall of 2025, coinciding with Massie's remarriage to a staffer 20 years younger. The man who loudly demanded Epstein transparency now faces very serious personal allegations of his own. The story is developing rapidly. So the footnote that was put onto this, or the community notes, oh crap, I didn't lose it, did I? It says, the claims against Republican Massie are unverified with no public evidence of a filed complaint. West was employed by Representative Sparks, not Massie. So who knows what this is actually about? But I think
true,
the
it's just
salacious part is, yeah.
Sorry.
Unless it's a psyop, which
I don't know
it
if we
still
want-
could be.
Yeah. We're
I
just
mean,
gonna,
how many of these have we
y'all
seen?
want to hear what she has to say, just for context?
Sure. Ruby, do you want to hear?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen all these.
I mean, he's
these
your
women
boy.
come
Do
out
you
all
want
the
to hear what
time
he's doing?
and do this stuff.
Do you want to hear about your favorite politician's sexual deviancy for 3 minutes?
No, but her claims, sure. If it's not too explicit, I'll be honest. I'm
think it is.
disappointed.
Let's just hear what she has to say, and then we can
Okay,
look
go
at
ahead.
body language and read between the lines and all that stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let me get over to. All right, let's hit.
Yep, JG, and I saw. I was gonna play a clip of Macy, but then when Bo told me about this, I was like, maybe not. So
You can't trust
Let's see.
anybody these days.
and I don't. But he was the only other politician that was really good.
You're just one person that you can't make a difference, that you need to just walk away. And
Hang
then
on,
he
y'all.
had $5,000 that he said that he would give me if I could just walk away. I didn't take it though.
Did he offer you a check?
No, he has cash. So it's part of his cow money, right? It's his non-traceable money.
No, wait a minute. You said it's part of his cow money?
Yeah, because he's got cows. He sells cows and gets cash, and he keeps it kind of.
He doesn't report it?
No.
So how did he react when you wouldn't take the money and walk away?
Well, he was very angry at that conversation.
All right. Have you pursued both the ethics complaint and the claim under the Employee Act despite his efforts?
I did. Yes, I did.
Are either or both of them still pending?
Yes.
Are the things you've told me about your complaints to both the ethics committee and for the retaliatory firing contained in those documents that you filed with the government?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that when Thomas Massie handed you or offered you $5,000 in cash that you were the main witness in a federal legal proceeding seeking a remedy for what you believe was an injustice?
Yes.
Has there been any resolution of either one of those proceedings to date?
No.
Have they made any efforts to resolve this with you?
Yes. So I have an offer. It's at the House for approval, but settlement.
You have an offer of what?
Settlement for $60,000 to settle the case for the retaliatory discharge and the Congressional Accountability Act violation with the Office of Victoria Sparks. But if I do that, then I have to sign an NDA. And so I can't do that.
You're saying that you were offered $60,000 only if you remain silent about all this?
Yes.
Do you have any documents to demonstrate that?
Yeah. I mean, right here.
Have you had further contact with Thomas Massey other than what you've described?
No, we haven't. We don't communicate anymore.
Don't you think that today's testimony might cost you the $60,000?
Oh, I know it will, but I mean, I've spent so much time fighting for transparency, and justice and accountability that if I did this, then I would call into question my own integrity. I wouldn't be able to sit with that, so I can't do it.
That looks bad. The fact that they're trying to give her money and
To sign an
her to sign
NDA.
yeah, that's bad. That means that they got real
That's
shit.
like a
Who
Tim
would do
Ballard
that?
situation right there.
But I'm surprised it would only offer her $60,000.
Yeah, no, $60,000 wasn't a very big offer at all.
But maybe it's because he can't offer her money out of the campaign anymore because they're watching it, and maybe
Yeah.
he's not loaded. I don't know how much that dude's worth.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's an accounting thing, and this is kind of my expertise. It's like, because all of that would be traceable, right? So it makes sense that he would offer chump change in cash to get her to go away, because it's not traceable.
It's not traceable, yeah.
It's not traceable, but when it comes to like actual settlements and things like that, that's when larger amounts of money come into play. And also, too, one of the things is that the bigger the payout, the more suspicious people get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so if he was loaded and say, "Yeah, I'll pay you $5 million to go away," right?
Yeah,
Even that
everyone will
dollar
say you're
amount,
guilty.
yeah. Whereas the 60,000, even from a legal case following like the Tim Ballard case as well as other cases, right? 60,000 is low, but it's, you know, it's like one could argue, okay, this, given the circumstances and whatever, this is more like of a reasonable like amount here. You know, it doesn't really call into question anything. It looks like a standard run of the mill auto printed. This is what is offered if you want to take it. If not, then we'll go to arbitration or litigation.
Just really quickly, if anybody wants to send me some cow money, the PayPal is at Gone Grid, and the Cash App is at New Yorker Rican. So send all your cow money to the UPC through there.
You have cows?
Yeah, get that. If you
good
get
money off
that
cows,
cow
man.
money,
Ruby, wow, got to pay those cows off.
Ruby's
no,
got
if
her
you guys,
cow money.
if you guys got any cow money, I gave you the PayPal right there. So, I gotta bring this up. Yeah, I'll go ahead, Jimmy. Yep, because I was
just
going
going
to
to say, talking about timing and everything, two candidates are running in the Republican primary for Kentucky's 4th Congressional District on May 19th, 2026, which is next week.
Exactly.
I think this is a combination of both, honestly. I think two things can be true at the same time. So while he can be guilty of these things, right, and misusing campaign, the timing is also interesting, because if this was, I don't know where Thomas Massey is, what state he's in.
Kentucky.
Kentucky, okay. But like, if you think if this like happened with like Gavin Newsom in California, right? Like, nobody's bringing that shit out. Nobody's bringing that out. Everyone's going to sweep it under the rug, right? So I think it's an interesting thing that you guys brought up the deep state, because while again, based on the allegations and what little we've seen, I would, there's obviously a case to be made here that should be investigated. But at the same time, if he was like a liberal, like, do you really like? I don't think.
They would have protected him. They would have protected him.
And yeah, we wouldn't have seen these women at all on TV or anything.
Well, we've talked about the elections, these primaries that are going on, and everybody was trying to say that MAGA was dead. But if you look at the primary results from last week, that was definitely not the case. There was like 26 wins or something like that. And so the reason I bring that up is because, okay, I'll just play devil's advocate here. Trump has been saying that Massey is what he is, that he's basically a rhino deep stater. And so we talk about, is public perception manipulated to push agendas? So is this a way for them, right or wrong, evidence will come out whether this is true or not, but is this something that's being used to awaken the people of Kentucky to be like, oh crap, I didn't know this about the dude, let me look further into this? Is that a possibility that's at play here? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it's politics. So
I think it's a payback for accusing Trump of being in the Epstein files, because he did that and openly said that. And I think that Trump found this out, or his people did, and they're like, oh, guess what? Boom, we're going to get rid of you, because Trump's not going to endorse him now.
Oh, no, definitely
Right,
not.
because of this new allegations. It can also be Trump manipulating the public perception of Thomas Massey to change people's vote, because they're not going to vote for a degenerate. They're not going to vote for an adulterer. They're not going to vote for a fornicator if his district or his state is truly Christian or conservative. They wouldn't vote for that.
Is Kentucky a conservative state? I don't know.
Oh, very much so.
Very much. The whole South is blood red. So
then his career is done.
Right.
If this stuff comes out as being true.
Yeah, if it's true, then he's done.
Right.
Well, the only thing is, at least he didn't flee the country. So
like MTG did.
No. Hold on.
No, MTG. She just bought a home in Costa Rica. She sold her house here and she's moved to Costa Rica.
So her buying a house, what does that have to do with fleeing the country?
She got out. She fled the country. She got out because she's not a good
fleeing
person.
from what? What are you trying to insinuate? That because she bought a house, was she not allowed to buy a house in any country she wants?
Oh no, she's allowed to buy it. It's just the timing is interesting.
Why is it interesting? Please,
well, they're
enlighten
her. They're accusing her of the thing that she's always talked about, that she's been getting money, by manipulating it like all the others do, which we know that he did and everyone else does. We know they all do play that game.
Right.
But she does have a considerable amount of money that nobody knows where it came from. And then she's buying mansions in other countries and then leaving. And this is kind of weird because remember we talked about that certain company that was financing the KKK and all those YouTubers all left the country.
SLP, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird that all this is coming down and all these people, and every single one of them is now anti-Trump, and then they're all fleeing the country all at the same time.
Yeah, hold on. What was she accused of again? Repeat that. What was she accused of?
Money laundering.
Yeah.
Money laundering. Okay, how so? Is it through like insider stuff, like
inside trading?
Okay, but every politician does that. So what makes it different? Why are they targeting her and not the other 100 politicians that are doing the exact same thing, like Nancy Pelosi?
Because she my theory is because she said the Epstein stuff and said that Trump was in the Epstein files. She made that claim that he was like, a degenerate like all those others, and made that claim, and now this is payback, in my opinion.
So if they go
worried about
her,
payback and left the country.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if she's guilty, yeah, sure, she should be worried. But if they are going to go after her, then that will set a precedent so that they can go after every other politician that has been doing money laundering, correct?
Yeah, but they're not going to do that. They're only going to go after... Trump's is only going to focus on these people that have tried to attack him personally. Then he's going for them. Because, for example, Senator Omar,
Yeah, they're going
How are
after
they
her too.
not got
Yeah.
rid of her yet? Like, that's insane.
But it's coming out. That's the point, is that
Yeah.
the things that are being done behind closed doors are finally coming out, and good things are being
Right.
done. So I don't care if she's a Democrat or Republican. If they are guilty of what they are accusing them, then sure, to the maximum extent of the law, they should be prosecuted. So I don't
She
see
should.
the
And I agree. If she did do these things that they're accusing her, it's supposedly, then she should be prosecuted. But I just think it's like, okay, we have her, we have Pelosi, which is
Mhm.
made more money on the market than any other human being in history. And yet they don't
Right.
do nothing to that wicked old witch.
So if Trump is doing that to her, then why not Nancy? Nancy has been an anti-Trumper since forever. What's the difference?
I got a theory
Go
behind
ahead.
this.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay, so you remember how we've talked, and I know a lot of people laugh at it or make fun of it, but whatever. So when Trump came in the first term, to take down the deep state, you got to take out the big people first. You got to take out the Nancy Pelosi's, the Hillary Clintons, the Joe Bidens. You got to take those big folks out of the way first, so you can move later down the road, so that you can go after the lower level operatives, like the ones we're seeing right now. And so if you're cutting, if you take out the big players first, allegedly, everyone, we'll see if it happens. But you take out the big people first, you take out the black hats, that means that the red hats don't have the money to do what they want to do. And they're not getting paid. So some of them are going to flip. Some of them are going to become whistleblowers. But then you're going to have others that are going to be hunted down. The low-level operatives in our government, like these congressmen and senators, these mayors, and you take them out too. And then you change the perception of the American public in the way that they now can see these things happening, whereas before they had no clue it was happening. That makes sense?
Okay, so is MTG a bigger fish than Nancy?
I wouldn't say no.
So then
That's
that theory wouldn't apply here, because
well,
what
that's
Trump
if
is
that's
Yeah, but here's the thing. Trump, she was on Trump's team. She turned
Yeah.
on him. He's taking it personal. Well, let's be honest.
We know
Trump
that.
takes stuff
Trump is
personal.
like that.
Yeah, and she was one of the big hitters on the Republican side. Like, she was
Yeah.
very popular, and she was very America first, and she did a lot for him.
I
And then
know.
turned on him, and
We
then all
loved
of a
her.
sudden she become, a blue hair liberal overnight.
And this is not
No,
something new. This is not
incorrect.
something that
Hold on. What do you mean by that, Bo? Please elaborate.
So she went on to The View, and then instantly after The View, she became the talking point for all the leftist movements. And if
Yep.
you've seen, like, they're even talking about giving her own talk show now for liberals.
Okay, so what did she say that, in your opinion, is blue-haired liberal? Because all I heard about with Marjorie was her anti-Trump when it came to Epstein stuff.
Yes,
And then that's why
she's
she
saying that-
resigned.
yeah, and she was saying that basically they're hiding all of it. They're not doing anything about it, and that the Democrats are willing to do stuff that the Republicans are, which we all know is just absurd. And she's openly saying that on The View, doing that in interviews, saying that the MAGA is dead and that MAGA is just as corrupt as the Democrats. There's no difference. I mean, she's literally saying this stuff on every interview that she's doing now. Like, just go look up any interview that she's been doing.
I remember. I remember when this was happening. I'm trying to find out, where does all of that equal blue-haired liberal? Because what she was saying was actually correct, in my opinion. Everything she was saying was accurate. I'm kind of shocked and surprised that she would say something like that, knowing that she was a part of that, because that wouldn't make any sense. If you're a part of the swamp and you took money, then why are you calling them out for it? That's
Well,
what
I'm
doesn't
calling
make
her a
sense to me.
blue-haired liberal because she's showing up on every major liberal channel now and is a special guest. And she's beloved and treated like we expect liberals to be treated. And that's the part that, because if you go and you see these shows like The View and you have somebody go on there who is a real Republican, They're attacked. Oh, you're not this. Oh, yeah. They're constantly lying and shit. They're not being like, oh, you're so great. You're so funny. And doing that whole like butter 'em
Right.
up
No, we
thing.
know that. They never
Yeah.
treat us the
And that's
same.
what
We
I'm
know
saying.
that. But that
They do
doesn't make
that.
her like them
It
just because
does.
they gave her a platform. No, it doesn't. Just because they gave her a platform to speak about what was true to her, that's what she saw, that's what she's saying. What makes her story invalid just because it's on a
What
leftist
do we know
platform?
about? What do we know? Okay, I'll answer that question. That's a good question.
Mhm.
What do we know about the Epstein file and Trump in it? Do you remember what we
We
found
really
out
don't
about
know
it?
anything, that there were just accusations that were
Yes,
investigated
and we
and found
know
to be
that
baseless.
it was a call center that was open to anybody, and they were all
Right.
investigated,
Right.
and all of
Mhm.
them shown to either have no evidence, they were
Right.
just made up, and the people that were brought in that were questioned about it either admitted that they lied about it, or it was a hoax, or there was no response whatsoever on all of
Right.
those cases, and there was like 13 of them, I think. And
See,
so
this
that
is
right there, and she knows that, and not to mention, does she not know? Not only does she know that, she was part of the committee that was involved in that, so she even knows more than what we know. And I guess you could kind of say maybe there is something, but she's saying that Trump is just like the Epstein people, but she knew for a fact that that was looked at, and that that evidence and those things that she said
correct.
on air were not accurate, not true. And if you were gullible enough not to look at the paper that was sent out, that they shown on CNN and everything, they cut the part on the right out that showed the follow-ups.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's
Yeah.
how I
But
know
she
that
was
she's a
never
liberal full of shit.
okay.
Because
I'm
she
sorry,
lied. She
but
lied and literally lied to the public, saying that all that was true when she knew for a fact it wasn't, because she was on the committee.
okay, so you know
Yeah,
what?
Ruby,
Homework.
let me
I'm
elaborate for a
just
second,
saying.
Ruby. Hang on a
Yeah,
second.
go ahead, because
So
I have a response. Go ahead.
yeah, so remember when we talked about the Russian collusion hoax?
Right.
Okay, and we all agree that that was fabricated, it was
Yep.
fake, phony, and
Yeah.
false, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's take the issue out, but let's look at if MT what she did here recently would be like her back at the Russian collusion thing, agreeing with everybody about the Russian collusion hoax.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how she's being looked at. Because and that's
Yeah.
why Trump called it a hoax, because what the deep state did is they created something fake to go out to the public, like they did with the Russian collusion thing. That's the reason why.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, right? But what I'm trying to say was, or maybe I'm just ignorant. Maybe I just don't know that she was making those definitive claims, because in my opinion, she wasn't. She was just raising awareness to the situation so people
No,
can
she
look
was being
into it.
adamant about it.
Okay. So the whole purpose of her resigning was why, in your theory?
She knew the gig was up.
So okay.
And
So if she
had to
knew,
resign. She had to get out.
Okay. Now I'm gonna walk with that. If she knew that, then why would she be so outspoken anti-Trump if she was allegedly in the swamp with them? Like, what sense does that make? Why would she do that?
Because they're not ever gonna stop fighting for what they want until they are actually taken completely out. So you're going to have players out there that are still going to try to push the agenda. They're still going to fight back with
But
the
she
information.
resigned. She's leaving. She's
Yeah,
leaving the swamp. So
Yeah,
why
but-
would she talk bad about Trump if she herself was in that corruption? It's like snitching on yourself almost. Why would she do that if allegedly she's guilty of what they're saying?
Ritual.
Because she would be part of the swamp where Trump isn't. Does that make sense?
So
Okay.
is she, can I throw something out here?
Yeah.
And then you can tell me you think.
It's clicking. It's clicking.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
Supposedly, let's just say supposedly, I'm not saying this is true, but what's to say that she's not the goody goody two shoes that she's claiming to be, and that what's to say that she is, like, for an example, a Satanist, and she's into this stuff. We know that Satanists will lie to your face, and we know that they have a belief system where they'll tell you the truth, right? and then send out a lie there too, because it's part of the ritual. So if we
Right.
look at her in that context, we're like, okay, the Epstein's file is true. We know that the part about Trump is not true. She's acting like the part about Trump is true, and that's the reason why he's not releasing the information, because if she is actually a deep state operative and is part of the occult, she has a relationship with the occult where she's going to have to tell the actual truth to the public when she's telling her lies at the same time, because that's part of the ritual belief system.
That's an
Good point.
interesting
And that's a
theory.
theory
Now,
because we don't know, but I'm just
right,
saying
we don't. Right,
when I
right.
see her turn, and the reason why I get so like ugh about her is because, like, for an example, the old place we used to go to, their
Mm-hmm.
spokesperson is loved by George Soros and George Soros media.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a red
she's
flag.
loved by George Soros and George Soros's media now. That
Because she
doesn't
flipped,
come off as being
right?
because she flipped, 'cause that doesn't seem to be suspicious. And then now she's being put as the new front face for Democrats because, oh, look, one of theirs came over to our side
Mm-hmm.
because
Yep.
she's so good.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
where I
so
go, no, I
mm-hmm,
don't, this don't look right to me. This smells dirty. It looks fishy. It's this,
mm-hmm.
she said everything I wanted to hear, and I'm a huge fan of her. And then all of a
I
sudden she
was.
just
Yeah,
goes
me too.
180. And then you got to go,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now, did she dupe me? 100%. I was duped by her. I was totally one of the people who was duped by her. I'm not going to lie. She was on my top
Yeah,
list of some of my favorites.
me too. Yeah, her and Thomas are up there.
I
So
never
what
liked
makes
her.
Yeah, I was, she's in my top,
really?
she was in my
Yeah, I
top
never
5.
liked
I'm not
her.
going to lie. She's in my top
It-
5. So when she did what she did, the betrayal, it sucked. It burnt. It hurt.
See, what was funny, and you guys may not remember, is like when she first came on the scene, she was
Mm-hmm.
being touted as somebody that followed Q. And the
I'm
Okay.
not aware of this.
Yeah.
so the
Mm-hmm.
media started saying, "Oh, she's the media was lambasting her in the beginning, saying, "Oh, she's a
Mm-hmm.
follower of that QAnon conspiracy." So they were talking shit about her at the beginning. That could have just
Mm-hmm.
been the setup to, get folks to start listening to her,
Mm-hmm.
from the MAGA community. And I was one that was like, when they said that, I was like, yeah. So I had a bad vibe about her from the very beginning.
Okay. So what makes more sense to me with hearing both of you out is that, and this says a lot about Trump too, I'm not gonna lie, because it's very hypocritical of Trump himself. Because when she was on his train, he had no problem using her as a supporter. But then the moment she
Yeah.
flips, because she is a swampy and he isn't, now he's gonna use that card and
Well,
play
see,
it
that's
against her.
part of warfare. That's part of warfare, Ruby. That's if you're
But then
battling
that
against,
makes Trump disingenuous when he talks about, or when he ran that he was going to clean everything up. Then why would he use her if even if she supported him? Why would he not distance himself?
well, the same reason why he had Fauci out in front every day.
Again, he's the president of the
gotta
United
put these
States. He
people.
doesn't have to do that.
Yeah,
But he's
going-
using them to his advantage because it helps his administration. I mean, it helps him look good.
Or is
But
he
then
trying
when
to?
they go against him, he throws them away. Like, that doesn't make any sense. If you
Unless he
knew that they
knew
were corrupt from the
the whole
beginning,
time she
exactly,
was
he
corrupt.
knew.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
knew.
that's what I'm
He
saying.
wanted
Yeah.
to make them popular, so
But-
when he does throw them to the side, people would look.
But see, here's the thing: if you just up and
Mhm.
arrested her back then, when he knew, then the public would know nothing about this.
Not arrest her, but why are you getting so
kick her.
close to her if you know that she's a swampy? Like, come on.
Because you got to use their weapons against them, and the people have to know. That is the biggest thing about everything that's going on right now. The people have to be educated on what these folks did, how they did it. So the only way to really do that is to put people in the spotlight, like Fauci, like MTG, the other folks, so people will understand. Once people understand what these people have done, then they will learn, and it doesn't matter about the person, but they will learn and pass it down to the generation and say, hey, watch out for these folks that do these things. Because
Okay, yeah, I get it. It's politics. I get it. It's like House of Cards written all over it. But the differences between me and that is that I would never do that. I would never, even if I was in that position, I just wouldn't do it because I
Because you're
wouldn't.
not
I
an
don't
evil
care.
satanic pedophile.
But Trump isn't
Good point.
either. If we're walking with
Exactly.
the same theory, so why would he? You. The point is, just because she supported him, he takes it, runs with it for however long she runs with him, and then the moment she goes and she does the swampy stereotype and goes against him, now all of a sudden he's gonna use the card, talk bad about her, and then the whole reputation, everything, and then call out the corruption
Well, that
afterwards
goes
after
back.
you used her
Okay.
support and everything. That doesn't make any sense. That's the difference between me and Trump, but that's why I don't like him sometimes, because he
Gotcha.
does stuff like this.
That's a legitimate reason. I mean, I see what you're saying is like,
I see what you're
okay,
saying.
so she is swampy, right? But she's not as swampy as a lot of the swampies, but yet we're not going after those really dirty fish. We're going after the little fish in the pond.
Yeah,
I can see what you're
yeah,
saying. It
that's
makes
it.
sense. Like I agree with you. Like I'm like, why is he not arresting Fauci? We
Yeah.
know what he's done. They've admitted to it in court. Like why is he there? Why is Pelosi not in jail? Like why are the big fish? But why are the
Or
questions
Hillary Clinton for the Russian hoax,
What-
or Obama for the.
Yeah,
Y'all know how
I
I
mean, the
feel
stuff that
about all that,
Obama's
so.
done, even I was surprised for the stuff that's going down with the Obama stuff. That was.
I'm telling you right
really
now, more
bad.
Obama stuff is coming out every day right now.
Yeah. Really quickly,
Yeah, in fact, he's
Linda
going to
joined.
Canada.
Yeah. Sorry.
Linda's on.
Yeah. Sorry to
Sorry,
interrupt.
yeah,
Just wanna. Linda joined the stage. Linda, go right ahead. If you have a comment about this topic before we move on to the next one, go right ahead.
Hello. Thanks for having me. So I was listening to you guys talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene being, she's now a head person for the left.
Yes.
Yeah, I am on the left, and I deny this 100%. She's no leader on my side whatsoever at all. I would have caught wind of that, and I'm pretty up to date on what the left is viewing and seeing. So I'm also wanting to get some clarity on what your definition of the swamp is, because I keep hearing y'all talk swamp, this, that, and the other.
Well, swamp is just basically like government officials that are actually involved in crime.
Okay.
So we call it the swamp because I mean, we're talking about like it's basically any politician of any sort or something connected, like for example, like George Soros, which is the media output for the leftist movements, the LGBTQ and that kind of stuff, as well as pushing like those kind of agendas, and then all the churches he supports. So he would be called swamp because there is criminal activity behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in government, when we say swamp, those
Thank you,
are
bro.
those are dirty politicians. So they're in government, and but I mean that's where the term usually is referencing is Washington D.C. It's politicians who are dirty. They steal, corruption, etc. They're in the swamp. Trump ran on the outsider. I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman. I'm gonna drain the swamp. I'm gonna clean it up. But then when he's there, which is why I have an issue with him, is because I was expecting the cleanup for him to expose the dirty, corrupt politicians and get them out of office. Now it
Where that
seems
term
like
drain the swamp comes from, yes. And I also wanted to mention
that.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention that I did see her on The View a while back, unless you're speaking of a recent time she was on The View. I haven't seen that, but I did see her when she got on The View and they welcomed her and everything. But when they probed her and asked her specific questions to find out if she's totally switched sides, she did not say yes. She made it very clear that she's, only in this area where she's in disagreement with, and she does not see herself as a Democrat or one of them, the people on the show. Yeah. I did not catch on to that at all. I caught on to her being still very firm, as though she is still a conservative, and I remember that very clearly. So I'm just in disagreement with you on that. You might have some reasons.
There's no problem with that. Linda, can I do a sociological experiment with you? Would you be okay with that?
sociological.
Yeah.
Sure.
So if you look up her name, like you type her name out in interviews, and you see it on your phone, would you say, like, we're gonna go for stuff that's recent? Would you say the shows that are showing her and talking to her, are they on the left or the right, in your
The
opinion?
ones that I've seen are on the left.
Okay. So if she's being interviewed by people on the left,
Yes.
do you think that it's feasible that the left is using her because she's part of their machine now, and that's why she's getting, leftist media? Like if I try to go and speak to leftist media about the problems we had with say with the organization, then
Hmm.
they would never accept me because Soros owns those company, and we know that there is money between that church and Soros. We know they're connected. So he doesn't allow for people to go talk bad about that church on his media.
What
Does
church
that
is
kind of
that
make sense?
church? Can you? I do
It's
hear.
JW's.
Oh, that church. Yes, of course.
Yeah. So I'm using that
I do hear
example.
what you're saying. Yeah.
So when you look at it in those contexts, do you see, like when I look at that, and I could be wrong and you could be right, but when I see that, I immediately think there's something fishy, that she's showing up and being praised on all these shows as being like this new hero for us,
Hmm.
when she obviously was against the left, and
Hmm.
now she's being propagated by the left. To me, I think that she was always a left, and we were deceived that she was on the right. So I think that I was ignorant to what she really was, and that she's on the left. Ruby
That's
thinks differently.
yes. I hear that. And again, I'm simply sharing my opinion. And thank you. I've never gotten the impression she's on the left, even when I've seen her on interviews.
Hmm.
They've brought her on because of a certain subject that the left is in agreement with her on now. That she's said she's against the the big beautiful bill and the Epstein files. She stood with the victims, or maybe we want to say alleged victims. I don't know which one works best, but because of those two things, and the left is very much for those things, they're like, what? What? One of those people on the right are in agreement with us on it? Let's bring them over and interview them. But I have not, and I've heard them probe to open things up for her to say, yes, I'm now a lefty, or what. I'm showing up with my blue hair, and I don't get that from her whatsoever. I have
Right.
not
I
seen
agree with
interview
Linda.
people. I haven't seen interview people call her one of us at all. But I do see why you do view it that way.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Oh, sorry, Linda. I apologize.
Go ahead, Jimmy. Yeah. Oh, I'm
I
sorry,
look at it
Jimmy.
this way.
Let me ask both something. Are you done with your, what was it, experiment with me?
Yeah, no, the
Okay.
thing about the looking it up, that was the experiment. It's just
Okay.
using your phone, and then, and the reason I'm saying it's an experiment is because I can't know what's going to be on your phone and what's going to be mine, because it's based on your likes, and the system is
Mm-hmm.
programmed to look at that way. So
Oh, I
I was
didn't
just
even look it up.
curious.
I'm just going by
Yeah,
memory. Yeah.
AI is going to show you different than me, because if you look at my
Yes.
stuff, it's going to
Hmm.
be very right, and there's going to be a lot of stuff about Bigfoot.
Yes, that does happen. Did you say a lot of stuff about Bigfoot?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Okay. Thank you, Jimmy,
Star
for
Trek.
letting me ask him that. I just wanted to make sure because I agreed to that. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, I don't think that MTG has gone like, publicly like a full blown liberal. I don't think that. Now, secretly, she could be part of the operation or the machine of the swamp. She just didn't portray it publicly when she first came out. But I do understand where Bo's saying that, hey, now that she's done this, it's only the liberal left wing media that is promoting her now. And we've all learned how the media works. If they want to change the public perception of something, all they got to do is put it out there all over the place, and people will start believing it. So kind of like leading into this, we got this new hantavirus thing. Is anybody going to buy that now? Did we learn our lesson from 2020?
Mm-hmm.
So do I think that she was used? Yeah, I think she was used. But she also did some things that she shouldn't have done, and she went against Trump.
But she allowed herself to be used, though, Jimmy. So just because a leftist platform gave her a platform, maybe that's because the right wing influencers didn't give her a platform. You know what I'm saying? She's not going to deny an invitation, even regardless of where they fall on the spectrum, to speak about something that she disagrees with.
That's
Disagrees
fair,
with. She's a
but
public person.
that's fair. But we didn't see her on any of the right wing media or alternative media.
Is it because she didn't want to?
Let me ask you something, Jimmy. Do you think
Yeah.
the right-wing media is going to invite her on a show saying she's gone against Trump in these two very large
No,
large situations?
not like Fox News or anything like that.
The
But
Benny Show, who was personally friends with her, offered her, and she refused.
Did she?
Yeah.
She's refused right-wing media.
Okay. I would think that she would be thought of as a traitor. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like you were asking, I'm just pointing out, like we
Thank
know
you.
that she had actually been offered to speak on right-wing media. Sorry, I can't
Yes.
talk.
Okay.
And she openly said, "No, I'm not going to do it." She told the like Benny Show and stuff like that. And the Benny Show, he was a personal friend with her, and then obviously they're not doing well right now based on the comments that have been made recently. I would say they're not friends anymore.
Yeah, she probably doesn't want to go on his channel. Like that makes
Yeah.
sense.
'Cause she's gonna
no
get
longer
attacked.
a part of the party, basically, because they're gonna chew her out and throw her out just because she disagreed with Trump, which is why people say that it's a cult, because just because she disagrees with Trump doesn't mean that she's bad or corrupt or etc. Unless there is evidence of that, and that's why she refused, because she knows sooner or later they're going to blast her in the media, and that's probably why she moved away. See, that would be different.
I see her as no longer MAGA, but still diehard conservative. You know, that's how I see her. Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw a X post earlier that said this. It said, MAGA. Let me make sure I get it right. MAGA is traditionally now the new Republican Party. The Republicans are what the older Democrats like Kennedy and everything would have been, and then the Democrats now are just straight communist. So
I know they've separated MAGA from the ordinary conservative or any of the conservatives. I have seen that. I haven't caught on to.
Yeah, and the
left
reason
has
why
been declared communist, but okay.
Okay, so the reason why that you have, what was it? She said, "Oh, MAGA is not conservative." MAGA is conservative. We're just not these rhinos. What's being exposed right now in the traditional Republican Party are these rhinos, these people that are not pushing constitutional law, not fighting for America. They're actually working for the swamp. So to be the only way you can get rid of these people, you have to go through voting. You have to show who they are, and you got to inform the public so that when they go vote, they can vote these rhinos out and put in their MAGA or their the new Republican Party, put them people in. So that's what we saw last week was all these endorsements that Donald Trump put out. They all won their primaries in the Republican Party and kicked out a lot of these rhinos. So that's part of what we would call draining the swamp.
And are the rhinos considered the Democrats?
No, rhinos they say they're Mitch McConnell. When I say Mitch McConnell,
okay,
is that a Republican?
And Lindsey Graham.
Hold on. I'm gonna do a social experiment. I'm gonna do one now.
Linda, you're popular now.
so Linda, when I say Mitch McConnell, do you think Republican or Democrat?
Oh, definitely Republican.
Okay, so when I see Mitch McConnell, I don't look at him as being somebody that stands for America. So therefore, to me, he would not be MAGA.
Right.
He is a rhino, which we would call Republican in name only, because he's supporting and standing with the Democrats against the MAGA agenda.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Never got that impression to me. I do think he'd crush Grinder, but no. I do not feel any left vibes from that man. The things he speaks out, and finishes off with that cherry on top. I don't, he speaks definitely right wing, but if I can understand you viewing him that way, but I have not gotten the impression he's doing anything for the left. And if he has, maybe I just need to be reminded.
That's those are things that we kind of don't see if we're not really looking for it. Like, what is his voting record? You got to look at what they're voting for. And the normal day, everyday American is not going to the internet and finding out what Mitch McConnell voted for last week. So we don't know what he voted for.
Yeah, you have to look for it.
Yeah, unless you are somebody's like into that stuff and you're like, okay, what did he vote? Oh wow, well, for example, let's look at this. Let me go to my homepage on what am I?
That's why I follow like C-SPAN on X and stuff like that, because they post the votes and clips and things like that. I follow all my politicians in my district so I can see what they're doing and what they're saying locally. Yeah, because they post that on C-SPAN and stuff like that.
So real quick,
ahead.
so we have here post that was put out Saturday, May 9th. California legislature passes bill reducing penalties for oral and anal sex with willing children. All right. As shocking as shocking as that is.
I need a link on that one.
Okay, let me find one.
On children, and are you saying under 18?
Right, correct. Under 18.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a link real quick. California.
Sure.
Reduces.
And tell us the politician's name again, Jimmy, so we could write it down.
Hang on. For oral and anal.
Oh, that's gonna make an interesting history.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. So the title is
right, like
California reduces penalties for oral and anal sex with minors. Oh my God. I'm probably get.
Okay. Well,
let's see.
I'm going to mute myself and speak it into my Google.
Okay, that's not the one I want there.
So while Jimmy's looking for that, John Marciano also says Rhino number 1, Lindsey Graham, and I'm glad he said that because
Lindsey
when I was new to politics, I was loving Lindsey. I was loving him. I thought he was funny. I thought he was like really truth speaker, right? But then Trump became president, and then I saw him turn on Trump really hard, really aggressive, and I was like, why are they doing this? Trump just wants the best for our country, right? Make America great again. But then Lindsey flips once again and becomes total Trump supporter when Trump was doing the whole stuff with Iran and Israel, like recently. Remember that clip that they were on the plane together and they were acting like buddies. That's why no. We have to call out the hypocrisy when we see it.
Oh, I agree.
Yes, he's a rhino, but yes, Trump is an opportunistic person and politician because he would take Lindsey's support when Lindsey did the 360, but then throw him away or talk bad about Lindsey when Lindsey was anti-Trump. So who's really the rhino here? They both are. I would consider Trump a rhino too when he does stuff like this.
Well, this is why I say that's why I say there's a game being played right now. And everybody has their part. Everybody wants to say the world is a stage.
You can play all the games you want.
Yeah.
Let me ask, are you talking about SB 145?
See, I'm looking, Linda, and yeah, I that's not exactly. It's going to take a while.
Okay.
I'm doing some double checking here because
Sure.
sometimes I'll be honest. Sometimes I fall prey to a post or whatever, and then I have to go into the comments and look at the comments and see what's being said because you really have. I try to adhere to my own words, not just read a headline. Go in to look, and right now they're talking about this has something to do with SB 141. I think that's what it was.
And I'm looking at something that's SB 145. So okay.
No, maybe no. I meant SB 145. Sorry.
Okay, thanks.
I think that's somebody's in here too. But okay, so regardless, we know that in California, they are trying to reduce that stuff. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to normalize activities with youngins. And that's not just in California, but that's around. That's why they want to name them minor attracted persons. Bull crap.
Right. A child cannot consent to that under the age of 18. So
No, it's insane.
Yeah.
yeah, that's something that we can agree on. But hold on, Jimmy, because you made a comment that said that all of the nominations. Wait, did you say? I forgot the word. What was it? You said that Trump.
primaries.
Oh, endorsements. All of the politicians that Trump has endorsed has won their primaries, right? You
There
made
was
that
like,
claim?
I think it was like I think there were not now. I think it was like 98, 97%. There was a couple that didn't.
Mhm.
Let me go and pull what I got on that.
No, but that's okay because that's not even the important part for me.
Okay.
Would you say that Trump was endorsing people who are not rhinos? Is that correct? Is that your position?
Correct.
So then why would he endorse someone like Byron Donalds for Florida governor? Because Donalds is a rhino.
I don't even know who that is, so I can't say.
Yeah, the Byron Donalds. I don't know. Sometimes we don't. I mean, I don't know what he's thinking sometimes.
Mhm.
I'm to be honest with you. I don't know what the game is there, other than putting the spotlight
I mean,
on somebody.
that's the struggle, and
Yeah.
that's the struggle, which is why I cannot trust Trump 100% because people like me and you who don't really know much can easily identify a rhino, but then Trump comes on and endorses a guy like him when there are other candidates within the Republican Party running for governor right now in Florida, like James Fishback, Jay Collins, and there's one more, I forgot his name, and then I think there's a woman also running. But he goes and he toes the party line by choosing Donalds. Why?
Don't know. We'd have to ask him.
This is the problem. This is the Trump
Right.
fatigue that I have because I really do want to put my trust in Trump. I do. I wish I could. But when he does things like this, I can't. And I have to rely on my own research and understanding of
Right,
politics.
I get it.
And I have to go with my heart, which tells me which is the best person for Florida governor. It's not Donald's. And why would Trump do that to us?
Well, the only thing that
we are in the party.
the only way I can
reddest states in the South.
Yeah, the only way I can respond to that, Ruby, is the gut punch that I had. Because when I came out in 2020, March 2020, with all this stuff, and granted, I was just new to it. I was excited, learning all this information, and I was fully expecting Donald Trump to be announced the winner of the 2020 election. And when that didn't happen, it was a huge gut punch for me and a lot of other people. We didn't realize at the time, and we do now, what was at play and what was being shown to the American people. If he would have been announced winner, and think about all the stuff we learned from after that election during the Biden years. Think about all the corruption we learned about. Think about everything that came to light and everything that everybody's learned over the last 4 years about the government. We wouldn't have known that if it was just
Because
business
Trump
as
lost?
usual. Huh? Do what, Ruby?
Because Trump lost. So you're saying, so you're saying that because Trump lost, that this was a blessing in disguise?
I'm saying that this is a coordinated thing that was meant to happen. Once you understand why it was done, I tell you all the time. I know you don't believe it sometimes. I know you don't believe it, but I believe that there's more going on behind the scenes. And this is, remember, you have to show the people. You just can't tell them.
Can I say something?
Absolutely, Bo. Go ahead.
So here in Arizona, when that election was going on, you know how you have people who count, and then you have people that watch the counters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Republicans weren't allowed to watch the
I
counting
remember.
in
I
Arizona.
know. I
They had to
remember.
be like 100 feet away.
Mhm.
How are you
And they
supposed
boarded
to
up the
watch
windows
from-
with cardboard, which is illegal.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then on top of that, here in Arizona, we had them come at night with carfuls of ballots in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And people recorded this.
Yep.
We knew they
Yep,
were
I remember
doing
that.
it. People were sitting there, and then we even had people come out and say that they were committing fraud, and those people that were said that there was fraud going on, they were brutally attacked by the police and other things and arrested and all this other stuff. And so we knew for a fact the election was stolen. Like we had, I had never seen anything like that in any election in my life.
Exactly.
And everybody knew that something was wrong. Everybody knew it wasn't right. And I knew he was going to lose because there's no way that he's going to win when a car full of ballots come in there with 100,000 plus ballots and there's no one watching them. You know that's fraud.
And see, that's the thing. If none of that would have happened, the people wouldn't have known that their elections were being rigged. They would have. And now people see that stuff. They recognize what's happening now. So I take the stance with it that I may not understand exactly what's happening or what's going on. That's why I say you have to let things play out. So it's exhausting. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm exhausted. I'm ready for it to be freaking over. But I know it's not. I know it's not.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
Well, it's going to be an end of all this. That's going to happen. It's just when's that going to be? We just don't know. So,
well, it's never going to change anything if these people don't come to the proper justice. That's the whole point. This is already his second term.
And then, I mean, there is a lot though.
And he only has like 3 years left.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about like all the things like with the judges being looked at, them talking about charging the judges throwing out like the manipulation that they did last month of all the different states with the redistricting, and you think about that stuff, and you think about like the exposure, like I've seen some channels that talk about all the things that have been discussed, you know, like this kind of stuff, and there's a massive list, and I'll be honest, like 90% of it I never even heard that they were doing it. I didn't even know. And then you go and hear all this stuff. And so you gotta understand, like the media doesn't want us to hear the good stuff. They only want us to focus on the bad stuff because they're terrified. Because I mean, if you look at it, I mean, they try to tell us that MAGA is falling apart, but the reality is we just saw that it's dominating. Because people are sick of it. I mean, even the LGBTQ populations, like those groups are usually on the left, okay? And we're seeing large portions of LGBTQ going to the right because things have gotten so out of control they don't agree with. Like, for an example, what was it? I think it's Lesbians Against Groomers or Gays Against Groomers.
Yeah, Gays Against Groomers.
It was one of those groups. You know, they're not technically what I would call right wing, but they vote and they're going and they're on the right side and they're voting right because they don't like the way things are. They don't like the medical field treating children the way they do. So you're having these groups like that, which Linda would probably know more about these people than I do, but they're splitting up. And then you have like, oh, I forgot the name of that transgender individual. She's huge. And she's right. She's a Trumper.
Oh yeah.
Are you talking about Jenner?
Kris Jenner?
No,
Catherine Jenner. Okay.
Oh God.
Caitlyn Jenner. Bruce Jenner.
Thank you.
Oh, I can't remember that person's name, but anyways, I mean, she's the biggest transgender.
Jeffree Star is another one.
I was thinking Jeffree Star.
Star.
Biggest transgender YouTuber.
And my wife watches this guy. I can't remember his name. He lives down in Florida. He's on TikTok or whatever, and he's openly gay. And he can't stand some of the things that's happening. He'll beat his phone, and he's hilarious. but he has conservative values.
Blair White, that's the name of the person. Sorry, I
Okay.
couldn't remember.
Oh, Blair White. Yep.
So
I mean, that person's in the leftist community, but has shifted to the right, in my opinion. So that's a good example. That was the one I was trying to use.
right. Okay. What time is it? I was told.
Yep,
It's
it
getting
is.
late.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up now. It is almost midnight. We can do final thoughts, and anybody can jump in. We're gonna have to talk about the other stuff. I forgot what was on our list, but if you have that list, Bo, I think you emailed it to me. We'll just do the rest of it next Tuesday.
Yeah, I took so much time with the UFO stuff. So I
No,
apologize.
it was good
Yeah,
though. It
really.
was great.
It was exciting though. It was really fun to talk about that.
Linda, you got any
Yeah.
last words for this evening?
Yeah, I put in the private chat the stuff I did look up regarding this bill you were talking about that is supposed to be encouraging pedophilia. So it's also common. What is that? CC common. I forget what that stands for, but I put the link in the private chat for you to look at it, and it
Okay.
seems to be. See, my daughter, and I won't take long on this. My daughter, when she was in high school, got together with a guy who happened to be like a year or two younger than her. And when she turned 18, I was like at the police office. I'm at the police department going, is this against the law? You know, tell me, because I got to make sure, you know, that things are right. So he said, police officers from the police department said, you know, if it's a few, you know, years in between or whatever, we expect this to happen, you know, but, and that, I didn't read all of it. I kind of caught wind that it's saying something similar to that and that it has to do with the LGBTQ community. And I'm not clear how. I just skimmed it. So,
Okay.
but I don't think it's, and it also said in there that it's by no means a encouraging pedophilia kind of
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
bill. But
14 years? Nah, dude. 14 years and up to 10? I am not
See,
going with that.
if you cut, I'd put somebody in jail for coming after one of my daughters. And the thing you have to do is
Good.
confirm that they're 14 and younger to be able to, you know, put them in. That's that cutoff date for some reason.
So, Linda,
So
did you just say you put them away? You turned them in?
correct.
Good
And it
for you,
had
Linda.
nothing to do with the watchtower. Absolutely nothing. Someone met her on the bus.
Anybody. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah,
Doing that. You
it
deserve to go to prison. You don't touch a
and
14-year-old. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's evil.
So-
That's just straight up evil.
it is, and I'm definitely against all of that. Like, they might not see a courtroom, but this person got to. And then this happened to land as his third strike. So that put him in, and my daughter did not have to testify. They had enough evidence on him, so he went in for 3 years. So I made him regret it. Yeah, thank you for telling me good for you.
Good. All right. Cool.
That's great.
So please look into
Thank
what
you
I
for
posted there for you guys.
Okay,
sharing
we'll
that.
check it out.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Are we doing final thoughts?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yep.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining,
sharing that,
Linda.
Linda.
And go ahead. Yeah, that was really good.
Oh, I was just gonna say, guys, I just want you all to know when they tell us an aliens come, they're not aliens, they're demons. Don't fall for it. It's bullshit.
There you go.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Thanks, Bo.
All I'll say is, you know, it's so difficult sometimes because we have work, we have our lives. Sometimes it's hard for us to keep up with everything going on. So we appreciate you guys come on here and be in the live chat, share things, come on the panel, share things, and then we can look it up, you know, in real time. That's a lot of fun. But I will say that there's a lot more stuff dropping about Obama right now. Trump is going to China, so let's see what happens there with some of the trade situations. There's a lot of talk right now about new currency that's out there. So I'm sure these are subjects that we're going to be bringing up here in the next couple of weeks because there is a lot going on. You might not think it is, but there's a lot. So stay tuned. We'll see what we talk about next.
Oh, Ruby, there's no voice. Dude, Ruby, there's nothing.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, so I was saying, thank you for joining Linda, Dallas, Dave, Bo, Jimmy, everybody in the chat. Just remember, if you have any cow money, PayPal, send it to Gone Grid, which is Shauna's PayPal. She's the one that has the StreamYard account that allows us to stream. So if you want to support the channel, send your cow money to Shauna from Fixing My Faith on PayPal at Gone Grid. That's the handle. I have it there in the chat. And I also have it on the page behind us, the backdrop.
Do you have
Dallas,
our outro ready? Sorry.
yeah, I do. So I'm gonna just
Okay.
let Dallas, we're wrapping it up because I saw Dallas, you were falling asleep. So I put you backstage, but I don't want to forget about you. Dallas, let me know your final thoughts about tonight's show.
Well, I should talk about that. Say about that, as Jimmy was talking about there, it's about that he had mentioned about that something about Israel, and I have something to share. I think we can look up know about those organizations at AIPAC and Kufi. And Kufi, that one is even bigger, and it's sure I'll investigate it a little bit, and it's that called the Christians United for Israel.
Oh wow, I have not heard of them, so thanks for sharing. I'm gonna have to look that up. Write it in the chat for me, Dallas.
I have to share that with you, and
yeah, definitely write that in the chat for me.
I'll have to share that. I just type it in there for you. Yeah, in there.
Yeah, appreciate that,
Yeah,
Dallas.
please do. Yeah, put it in the comment section after the live. There's a comment section. Type it in there, and then I could come back later and I could look at it. Oh, I also want to thank Leonard for joining. He joined earlier, and we do have to pick up where we left off with Leonard. So I think we're up to amendment
5 and 6.
Yeah, 5 and 6. So hopefully, if he joins next Tuesday, I'll remind him. But I'll be ready for it. I'm gonna prep myself. So
Yeah, and I'm
I'll be
agree
ready
with
for
Jay
that.
Mars real quick. We need to watch. We need
just
to
a
watch
quick-
things. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I agree with what Jay Mars says there. It's going to get crazy.
Really quickly, somebody just joined us here. So what I'll do is just a quick hello. The Indian Jesus just joined the channel. Really quickly, introduce yourself. Where are you from and where do you stand politically? Go ahead.
So I am the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. I lean a little bit right, but I am a non-believer. And so there's a lot of places where I don't necessarily fit into a box. And my channel is all about trying to get people to be better at communicating with the people that they disagree with. And that is my goal.
Oh, nice. Well, I tell you what,
yeah,
if you can put it on your calendar, we'll be back. We're here every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'd love to have you on the show if you want to come back next week and have a conversation with us.
Are you guys shutting down?
Yeah, we were getting right. Yeah, we've been on for 3 hours.
All right, fair. So I'm gonna hit I'm gonna subscribe to you guys, and
just a quick
I'll
question
definitely be
before you
back.
leave. Sorry, I'm glitching.
Yeah, where are you from?
Okay,
I'm
thank
from
you. Just let us know where you're from. Where you're from.
NJ all day.
You say NJ? You say New
Say
Jersey?
that again.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
New Jersey.
He's in New Jersey.
I'm from New Jersey.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah, I would love to have
Gotcha.
you come back on. Your name is hilarious. I love that. The Indian Jesus. I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
And
You guys
got the
have a
look
good
going
one.
on. You got the look going on too.
All right. I'm
Yeah,
live
next
every Monday.
Tuesday, 9 p.m.
Yeah, but so I go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. So before you guys start up, if anybody's in the chat, come on through. I love talking to people in the chat. And yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys
Awesome.
another time.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. See you next Tuesday. Oh, that was kind of cool.
That would have been fun, but it's just too late right now.
I know. Yeah, definitely. He sounds like a lot of very high energy personality. So I think hopefully he remembers to come back next Tuesday, 9 p.m. All right, guys. So yeah, final, very, very final thought. Don't always follow endorsements, because that really bothers me. The way Trump endorsed Donald for Florida governor infuriated me. There are so many other better options in the Republican Party. Trump knows this, and yet he still chose Donald's. And if we do want to believe the theory that he is going to endorse people to take rhinos out of the party, then this endorsement doesn't make any sense. And when things don't make sense, it's one or two things. They are following a party line. They're just towing the line, and he's allowing himself to be used to whatever narrative, whatever plan they got in place, or he's being paid to do this. He's being directed to do this. Once again, it is like another puppet type of thing. And I hate that. I hate to say that, because I really want to trust and believe in Trump. But when I see things like this, it doesn't make sense.
I get it.
There are many other better candidates running in our party. Why would he not endorse any one of those?
Yeah.
Look at the voting track record of these people that are running for office. Donald's has a very bad voting history, because not only was he absent for many of the votes that are being done on the floor, which doesn't make sense in itself, because that's his job. His job is supposed to be there to vote for the people that he represents. So why wasn't he there? You know what I'm saying? That's a red flag. Yeah. Why would I want him as my governor when he couldn't even vote to represent his district when he was a congressman? That's how we should be thinking, okay? There are other better people in our party that really truly do care about our country. They probably might not have the political experience that Donald's may have, but they're better candidates. And just because they don't have that kind of experience doesn't mean that they won't be a good governor. I believe in that.
Yeah.
I would vote for someone who has never had a day in office over somebody like Donald's, just because of that. Because when you look at the voting track record of Donald's, and even past scandals that allegedly he has stolen millions of dollars from I don't know where, I mean, there's stories about every politician. That's another red flag. So it's like I already got 2 strikes on this guy. And Trump would know more information about these allegations more than us, because he's the president of the United States, and yet he would endorse this politician. That's what doesn't make sense to me.
I get that.
So that's my advice and final thought for tonight. Just because the president endorses someone, don't even.
This is why everybody has
take it into consideration.
Yeah, like Ruby said, you have to educate yourselves on these people, no matter who's endorsing them. So.
Exactly. And an endorsement means nothing nowadays. Now that our eyes are opened about the deep state and about propaganda and about the swamp, now that your eyes are opened, endorsements mean nothing. Maybe 50 years ago it meant something, but it means nothing today, because they are playing the same game with different cards, different people, but it's the same game. And they're going to continue to do it over and over, despite us having the internet and treating us as if we're stupid when it comes to voting for people. So don't treat them like you're stupid. Do
it's
your
gonna be a fun
research.
ride. It's going to be a fun ride in November this year.
And it's very important because governor is one of the most important local elections ever. This is the man who is going to take the next four years, right? I think a governor is 4 years, to direct your state. We were blessed with Ron DeSantis. He was called the governor of like the country. Like he was really praised with the way he governed Florida. We have to do better in the state of Florida. And I would encourage you to do this in your own state. Come to the UPC. Tell us who is running for office in your local elections. We'll play the videos because I wanted to do that tonight, but we'll do it next time. We'll play the campaign videos. We'll play the game of who would you vote for. We need to start vetting these people ourselves. Endorsements mean nothing. So that's my final thought. I want to show you guys next Tuesday the other candidates running for governor and get your opinion about who would you vote for. Tell us who's in your state, who's running your party. Let's do it on the UPC because the elections are coming up really soon. Really soon. This is the time to do your research right now. This is what matters. Local elections is what matters. All right, guys. So I am going to play the outro.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night. Be here next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Hopefully we see the Indian Jesus again.
Y'all take care. Have a great week.
All right. Good night, everybody.
They said I lost my mind, said I was chasing ghosts and shadows. I showed them what I'd find, but they just laughed and called me hollow. Tinfoil on my head, they said conspiracy delusion. Every word I said was buried under their confusion, but I could feel it in my bones. A reckoning was coming. I'd rather bleed and stand alone than pretend I wasn't seeing something. Call me crazy, call me broken, call me every name you've spoken. Paranoid, deranged, and blind, but I had something on my mind. Now the curtain's torn wide open. Every word I said is proven. Who's crazy now? Let the record show. Wide awake while you were in the show. They cost me friends, they cost me sleep. Call me unhinged at the dinner table. They rolled their eyes so goddamn deep. Said I was broken and unstable. Lost my job for speaking out. Got unfriended for the questions. Every time I raised my doubt, they made it therapy, they suggested. But I kept burning through the night, connecting every dot they missed. The only question left was when not if. And now they get this. Call me crazy, call me broken, call me every name you've spoken. Paranoid, deranged, and blind, but I had something on my mind. Now the curtain's torn wide open. Every word I said is proven. Who's crazy now? Let the record show. Wide awake while you were in the show. You call me crazy. You call me lost. You call me lost, but you never counted the cost. Silencing the ones who see before the rest already. You buried us in ridicule, but truth don't shake so easy. Now the world is cracking open, and the shock is written on your face. And I know you want an answer for how you got so taken in this place. Well, I can say I told you so. God knows I've earned the right, but I held this torch for all of just exactly where you're standing, shaking in the story they were handing. So take my hand, I'll walk beside you. There's a way to step outside this. Now you're questioning, now you're waking. Feel the ground beneath you shaking. Truth is heavy, truth is hard, but you don't have to carry it alone. We were crazy, now we're proven, and the world is finally moving. No,